Total Smith here. Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy Downtown Deuce ASAP. Come on, man.
Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Yeah, Detroit. Destination restoration. Yeah, it's our time. Can you feel the elevation? We on a mission on vacation. Time to create that separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for that confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination. Together all the time together. It's us against the world, it don't get no better. We turned it around, that was the beginning. Coming for the crown, you know we winning. Time to put in the work, I'm about to go for stuff. Taking our prisoners, it's my time. Yeah, I know that it hurts. Saying break out the church, you don't wanna see me in my prime. The mission is to ring, we're caught in everything. In the city, supporting the dream. Vision new I never seen, we deserve to be king. It's all or nothing, no in between. The clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Now the clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Feel the elevation. We on the mission on vacation. Time to create that separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for that confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination. Detroit basketball. What up, though? Welcome back to another episode of the Downtown Deuce Show with the boss. Boss, what's the word? You've been living your best life lately. You've been hitting all these Nuggets games, second game, and
I know
consecutive nights. What's going on with you?
Yeah, I had a really just basketball game today, basketball day today. I went to Nuggets Rockets, which was exciting and fun and chippy. Got to see the other twin tonight, and then drove home during the first quarter of this game and finished it off watching. So it was a great basketball game. The Nuggets lost, but the Pistons won, and that's all I can ask for. So
okay, 1 for 2 ain't bad. At least it wasn't 0 for 2. All right, we'll take that. We'll take that. Chat. We see y'all in the chat, man. We're definitely going to get to your comments per use. You guys already know we appreciate you guys being here. So, guys, let's get to this game, man. Tonight, the Pistons, they bounce back against the Charlotte Hornets, and they get the win. They get back in the win column after that tough loss against the Mavs. They took care of business tonight, and they get the win over the Hornets 112-86 and improved to 22-6 on the regular season. We all know last game was tough, but the Pistons, they did not let it linger, which was great, and they were able to lock in for most of this game and get back to who they were tonight. Before we get into this game, though, I want to shout out Ron Holland, and then, boss, I'll let you follow up, but I want to get to Ron tonight. Guys, he's only in year 2, but he is quickly becoming one of the young leaders of this basketball team. Take a look at what he had to say prior to tonight's game earlier today with regard to how they bounced back from the Mavs game. Check it out.
I mean, we can look at a lot of things in that game that went wrong, but I would just say we missed a lot of shots that we normally make. But if we look at our defense, we definitely wasn't communicating as well as we know we can. So we definitely use the shoot around and talk about that and be able to go out to this game against Charlotte and kind of up our intensity a little bit. Again, we're trying to take that next step, and we know communication is definitely going to help us do that. We know what it is, so we know what to do coming out against Charlotte. One thing this team has been doing really well this year is staying together. Last year we was kind of separating a little bit, but we're trying to make one big step this year. The way we play, it's not always going to be pretty, and everybody's not going to always be on our side, you know, so being able to just stay together through all that, I feel like we're making huge growth with that. We can't expect calls. We can't play hard for 2 minutes and then the next 2 minutes not. There got to be consistency to it. Once we instill that in our mind and all 15 of us on the same page, I feel like we're going to be really hard to deal with because we're not going to have a care in the world. I mean, we go at it every day in practice. The intensity is there. I mean, we talk all day. It's physical on defense, so we go out there and execute it in the game. I feel like we shouldn't have nothing to worry about, you know? We just didn't have a pop. So I feel like the group that I came in with, I mean, I kind of told everybody, like, let's just play hard and look at the scoreboard later. Next thing you know, the game was tired in the crunch time. And, I mean, we could have took care of business a little more. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like me going out there and telling them that, and then all the guys following me, and I feel like all of us following Cade, all the leadership that was going around during that game, I feel like it was huge growth for us. I think we was able to overcome that, lead the refs alone and all them, do all that, and go out there and play our game.
He said a lot of great stuff there. A lot of great things. He sounds like he's a veteran. I mean, just talking about leaving the refs alone, and being a leader, right? Being that leader, going to his guys, and saying, "Hey, let's just play. Let's not scoreboard watch. Let's go out there and play, and not to rely on the refs." You know, I know I said it already, but that's a big thing. We're already not a darling of the NBA, so complaining is not really going to do a ton for us, right? So just continuing to play our style of basketball. And just, he said it, like, we got to play hard for the whole game. We can't do for 2 minutes here, 2 minutes there. We got to keep it up and we got to play our style. So I just love what he had to say. I thought he's very, very mature for his age, and he is already becoming one of the leaders of this team, boss.
Yeah, and I agree. And the Mavs game was one I missed because I was at a Nuggets game then too. Yeah. But against the Magic, which was fun to see. But what he summed up is just exactly, the mindset that we need in some of these scenarios of, like, just don't look at the scoreboard, just go play. Just go play your smart basketball. And, I was just keeping up on box scores, and I saw that we came all the way back, and I saw things that were going on that was frustrating, but it definitely just seemed like it took us out of our game. And then we got back into it maybe a little bit too late. But then tonight, I think he just did a good job of just reiterating that fact. And like Ron, again, tonight, he just went out there and played hard. And it just seems like just, like he said, following Cade, his leadership, just doing stuff. It's really cool that they all hold each other accountable, no matter where they are. Like, he's only in his second year, and he feels comfortable enough to be like, guys, like, this is what we need to do. Yeah.
Yeah. He embodies this team, man. I really love just what he brings already. I hope he's here for a long time, because he's another great culture guy. Already, cementing who he is as a player for the big piece for this team. Absolutely. Mr. Pierce, Nasty Dogs did it again. Nasty Dogs, Dog Pound, got it in, man. It was good to see. Miyuki, aloha from Hawaii. Always appreciate your support, man. Got to get to my dog, Dominic, always showing love. Let's see what Dominic had to say. Appreciate you as always, brother. Let's see. He says, seen the box scores, but watching Knuckle live, he going to be nice. Yes, he is. Yeah. He's probably the best player on their team, in my opinion. LaMelo Ball is no longer the best player in that team. To me, it's Knuckle, and who's Kelly Brenner and the forward, Brandon Miller. Yeah. I think that's. I don't know, man. LaMelo is. I don't know if he's really gonna be a part of this team much longer going forward. That's just me.
I plan on talking about it a little bit, because I just kind of appalled by his immaturity with how long he's been. What he showed tonight. I was a little bit honestly disgusted by it, and I had a question about that, but let's finish with that. Okay, cool. Yeah, hold that thought. Dominic continues saying it wasn't the prettiest game at times, but what does it say about the team for that level of defensive intensity in garbage time by the bench? Yes. Next game, Nasty Dogs. Yes. Yeah, bro. Like, that's the key, man. And Ron kind of just said that. It's like, we got to play full games. We got to play complete games. We've talked about that in the past, boss, how the Pistons will have these big leads, and you'd expect guys to be able to sit and rest their legs a little bit. And unfortunately, we give them up. They got to come back in. It looked like we had kind of dropped that habit against the Hawks, and we beat them by 27, I think it was. And I was hoping we were going to see more of that and less of what we saw previously and a little bit tonight. But to the Pistons' credit, they didn't let it linger. It wasn't a close game down the stretch as it has been against games like the Pacers and the Magic and the Sixers and the Celtics. Like, those games really hurt us because we didn't finish them off. But tonight, they got right back on it. They let it get down to about 4 or 5, I think, in that third quarter to end the quarter. Which is what I always say, close quarters. They didn't in the third, but they got right back on it in the fourth quarter, and they put it out of reach. So that was good. Yeah, I think they went on. We were on a 16-0 run, and then the Hornets went on a 16-3 run. And we can blame ourselves for that too. But some of that stuff reminds me of what we were a few years ago, of just young guys just hitting their shots. Like, I have to give some credit to the Hornets, not necessarily Ball, but like Renner, them just hitting their shots, doing that to get that lead back. But then we went on a 31-9 run to finish the game. So
yeah, like, I think it was like 27-2 at one point, wasn't it?
Yeah. And so I'm just excited that, we let them get it back in again, which sucks. But at least we, bounced back in a big way. Like you said, it wasn't close the whole time. We didn't end up just winning by like 8 points when we should have won by 20. Like, no, we won by 26 and we deserved to. Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't perfect. Like, it wasn't like, we're not going to blow out every team, every game and just put them away we understand that. It's just the incremental growth. I think tonight was a step forward, even though it was the Hornets. They are still a hungry team, as you mentioned earlier. So like, you can't look past anybody, even if you are better on paper. Still got to go out and play. So even though they let them get back into the game, it was nice to see them right away get back on it as the better team and take care of business. That's something we haven't seen too much of. So to see that step was good for me.
Yeah, I agree. And the Hornets were on a little bit of a win streak. They beat the Hawks. They beat the Cavs. And again, like, the Cavs don't look the same as they did last season, but still, I mean, really good players. So for us not to play down to them and fall into that trap like some better teams have was huge. Yeah.
So before we go any further, boss, I'm going to let you do your PSA we always do prior to each show. So let's go ahead and let you get into that.
Yeah. So guys, we're still doing the 50% of all of the super chat proceeds will go to Ron Holland, the Holland Group Foundation, which is just an amazing group. Ron Holland's mom runs it, but it's by his family, and they just help the elderly. They help seniors. They help children, just anyone in need in both their Dallas communities and here in Detroit as well. So just to help give back to that. So and then we'll also have a link in there. So any super chats, 50% will go, and then we'll have a link if you want to just donate yourself as well. And let me know if you do donate, like, let us know, because I do want to give a shout out. This will run till New Year's Day game. And so then I do want to give a shout out to everyone who did donate. So
absolutely. So you guys will get a shout out from us if you do hit us with a donation. We appreciate it. Make sure you guys go follow the Ron Holland Group Foundation on Instagram. So shout out to them, and they always showing love. We show it right back. Okay, so boss, as far as the injury report, Caris LeVert had some right knee soreness after the last game he played. Duncan Robinson also had some left knee issues, had a contusion after, I think he bumped knees, but he also played as well. I just saw on Twitter, he said it wasn't as bad as he thought, so he was able to still give it a go. So that's good for him, that it wasn't anything that was serious for him for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so boss, let's get into our initial thoughts. I'll let you kick it off. What did you see from this game tonight? What stood out to you?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, guys, I was just listening to the first quarter on my drive home today, so a little bit tougher than actually watching. But when I tuned in, it was the beginning of the second quarter, and they seemed to look a little bit more in sync. There was tons of aggressiveness. I felt like guys were making their shots. I don't know. To me, it looked really good after the first. And yeah, they went on a little run, but it wasn't the kind of run that I was worried about, just based on how we were playing in that moment. So yeah, I really just appreciated the way we all went out tonight. I think we had 16 steals and 10 blocks. That's crazy.
That is. That's good.
That's impressive. So and I just love that we saw some guys out there like Javonte Green, Ron Holland, like some guys didn't reflect their box score just because of their defense. I thought we had a really good defensive game as well. At least in the paint. Some of the perimeter stuff was a little tougher, but some of their shooters were really hitting their shots. So
it's funny. Some Turin White says people had LaMelo over Cade. That's crazy.
Yeah, for a while.
Comparing
them because he had a good season last year, and that was going to be my question to you if you want to answer it real quick.
Okay, throw it at me.
Curious about it. Which ball brother is better in the NBA, Lonzo or LaMelo? Because for me, well, maybe go through your thought process first, and I'll tell you mine.
Go ahead. What you got?
Well, I'm just thinking, so LaMelo, is a little flashier. He's been healthier. He's been the face of the Hornets, which I don't think will last longer. And someone brought up in the comments too, a little earlier, like, but who would you even trade it for? Like, what's his market? So he either has to shape up and make this Hornet stuff work, or else I think he's out of the NBA pretty soon. Lonzo, I like his game a lot better, but he's just been injured with the, injury bug and everything. And so for me, I would pick Lonzo, but I know there's lots of people that would pick LaMelo.
LaMelo is definitely more talented. naturally gifted.
Oh.
Lonzo's a winner. He's a winner. It's like, it's clear. If I'm picking a guy for my team, I'm taking Lonzo Ball every single time. Because first of all, he's a two-way player.
Yeah.
He's not nearly as gifted offensively as LaMelo is, just naturally just putting the ball in the hoop. But yeah, he straps up defensively. For a while when he was healthy, he was known as one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. When he was healthy, right? So it's no question in my mind. He also doesn't get involved in personal battles like LaMelo did tonight. LaMelo shot his team out of the game at some points, almost like he was too prideful to let guys like Ausar and Ron and Javonte frustrate him.
To foul out that quickly. And again, I think he went 0 for 10 after he scored 8 points fast.
Yikes.
I don't know what it was. And it's certainly nothing that JB would put up with. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, he wouldn't play.
Yeah. He
wouldn't play here because we already know he's going to demand that defense. And if you're not playing it, it doesn't matter how good you are offensively. You're not going to play. He demanded it from our star player. He told Cade as soon as he got here, hey, bro, I need both ends of the court. Can you do it? Yeah. Cade said, yep. So if he's going to do it, Cade, he's going to do it with everybody. So, yeah, that's a great question, boss. I would definitely take Lonzo over LaMelo just because of the mindset.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious. It came up when I was watching the game because, again, I was just kind of, this is a guy last year who little kids were modeling their game after. They wanted to shoot the threes like he was shooting. They wanted it to be, kind of that messy clean that he is at times. But tonight really just showed me, like, I would just be, if I was a Hornets fan, I'd be really embarrassed by the way he played and presented himself tonight.
I'd be embarrassed if I was him.
Yeah.
Like, it was not a good look at all. But yeah, good question for sure. Darius, welcome to the club, my brother. Appreciate you your support, man. Hopefully we get to see you more and more. For sure, absolutely. Devon says, look at this. People look at the stats. Cade's personality makes him better than them. Right. That's what I was saying about Lonzo. It's just up here. Yeah. It's just the mentality to get stats versus get wins. That's really what it comes down to. So definitely would take a guy like Lonzo Ball over a guy like LaMelo. But we'll leave it there. As far as what I saw, Bus, I know you missed the first few minutes. Yeah. And I know it's hard to really get the feel of the game if you can't see it. Yeah. Right. Especially depending on who's actually calling the game. You got to see this.
I love Greg Kelser, but I can't trust him. I can't trust when he says that something's a jam. I was like, was it? But
you mean wait, Greg or George?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, George. Did I say Greg?
Yeah, Greg is usually on it.
I trust
you
Greg.
Mean okay.
George more so is like this.
George is too, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a little bit difficult. Just seeing with your eyes. I mean, that's just what we do, and they're not going to announce everything they see either. It's not that kind of play call that they have. So
right, and they don't always see it the same way you might. You know what I mean?
But and I'm sure you'll hit on this, is that Greg was mentioning how there seemed to be a lack of cohesiveness in the beginning.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Like it wasn't. I won't even say it was It was cohesiveness, but it wasn't. It was a result of just sluggish play. Like their energy was just not there to start the game. It was very sluggish. And that's why they couldn't really get anything going offensively, because they weren't getting stops because the energy wasn't there. They couldn't stop the Hornets early from hitting shots. And that, like I said, they couldn't get out in transition because of it. And the half-court offense struggled, Knopel is a good rookie. He's a good rookie. He's probably the best in his class, I would say, this year. I would give him the Rookie of the Year award for sure. I'm BJ Edgecombe for sure. BJ Edgecombe for sure. I like BJ too.
But even Kalkbrenner, I think they said that Kalkbrenner is second in blocks and Stu is third. Like that's
okay.
And Stu had a nice block on Kalkbrenner, which was
he did, and he's like 7'1". It's a big dude. Big dude, man.
Comes in, and I'm just like, you definitely do not look like an NBA player. An 80s movie star.
He a throwback for sure, 100%. But I like his game. But yeah, like the energy early was just not there. Like on one play, Knopel had a one-man break coast to coast for a dunk, and it was like no resistance. Quick timeout from JB. Like the energy just was not there. It did pick up after that though, but early they were just kind of really stuck in the mud, just kind of like just going through the motions, and you could see it. But once again, boss, the bench brigade, they helped us build a lead again after going down early off of their intensity, and it looked like the Pistons were going to run away with this early. They went up 20 in the first half, but the zone bothered the Pistons again. The Hornets went to that zone, and it bothered the Pistons offensively, and that's in part of what made this game a tough game down the stretch. So that was something that I was a little bit concerned about. They're still having a few problems with that zone. They did handle it better overall. They were able to bust it at times with guys being able to get in transit, not transit, but just getting downhill. off of their burst, right? You see a lot of times guys just dribble pass just to get another guy the ball with the head of steam. Like we saw Cade doing it with J.I. We saw Ron doing it with Cade. Just quick dribble and then dish off, and then that guy can get downhill. But that's what they were doing a lot to try to bust it, and it did work. So, but like I said before, just the leads, just being able to hold on to those leads and put teams away. Like I said, it wasn't a game to where they had to fight down the stretch, but it was a little too close for comfort considering the lead they already had going into that last quarter or going into the third quarter, within the third quarter. So that's my only gripe is just that I want to see them continue to play those 48 minutes and not those 2 to 3 here and there like Ron was just talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I agree. And I think I agree with you with the zone stuff too, that I think it's something we have to get better at because it looks like teams are picking up on the fact that we have trouble with zone. We just do right now. But I thought that we were attacking it a lot better. They didn't stay in it long. We kind of just forced them to collapse the zone and everything. So I think that we approached it very well when it first popped up in the game. Yeah,
for sure. That's all I got for initial thoughts. Let's get to some comments here. Torch says, you need guys like Melo so you can keep getting high draft picks year after year. MB Well says, LaMelo, I thought you was going to bed, bro. I saw your comment. You said you were going to sleep, but I'm glad you're here, but I'm just calling you out. So LaMelo is a head case like Ja and Zion. I don't think any of those, well, I won't say any of those guys, but all those guys I don't think are team first. I don't think any of those three are team first guys. All talented, right? But I don't think any of those guys are guys who will be key pieces to championship level teams.
And we've talked about this, is that you kind of need, well, maybe your best player won't necessarily be your point guard, but you need a good point guard to carry the team to a championship is what seems to be the theme,
Yeah.
So those, I mean, Zion's not a point guard, but Ja can be. And then, of course, we have LaMelo, and we've talked about this before. Like, that's the same thing with kind of like someone like Scotty Barnes being a made ball handler. Like, these aren't guys that you can bring their whole team a championship. I don't think so.
Yeah, for sure. I do agree with somebody said that the zone was bothering us. It's still a major concern. We win this one by 50. If we could just shoot average from three. Yeah, we shot like 21% from three tonight, guys. 6 for 28.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
So that's not good at all. And that's with a Duncan Robinson playing. So I just think overall, we just couldn't throw it in the ocean for most of this game tonight. Nobody really shot great. But even with that, we still won by, 26 points tonight?
Because of our paint play. And that's what I like, and we've talked about it. Like, I'd rather us just, some of those shots, those threes were like towards the end of the game. Like Ron was 0 of 4. I think 2 of them were in that last kind of garbage minutes, just seeing if he could put it up. But yeah, Duncan had 4, and then Cade had 1, and then Stu had 1, and no one else made a 3. So
yikes,
not good. But we made
it's
up.
It's okay though, because you're not always going to shoot well. We're already not a great shooting team from long range.
Right.
So until we get that worked on, we got to hang our hat on what we do best, which is play defense. So I thought even with that was encouraging. We didn't shoot well. We still wasn't even close when we played the way we want to play, which is good.
And that's what's different between us and like a team like the Celtics, who rely on their perimeter shooting.
Mm-hmm.
We don't rely on a perimeter shooting. There are teams that do. So when we're not hitting it, we can still win by 26. So.
Right. Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, we are going to get to some box scores here, and I'm seeing a lot of Caris LeVert comments. We're going to get to everybody, guys. Stay tuned. Stay tapped in. We'll get to the reserves after we get to the starters. So let's start there, boss. Let's start with Cade Cunningham tonight. Tonight, guys, Cade Cunningham finished with 22 points on 9 for 20 overall, 1 of 5 from 3, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 10 boards, 10 assists, another trip dub for C2, 2 turnovers. So that's a 5-to-1 assist turnover ratio with 10 assists and 2 turnovers, which is great.
Yeah.
2 steals in 36 minutes. So, man, good game from Cade. What'd you see from Cade tonight?
Yeah, awesome. I mean, 36 minutes. He had almost the next starter up was Tobias with 27. So he was almost 10 minutes more than everyone else, which again, we shouldn't have had to do, which we wouldn't have had to do if we had kept that lead in the third. I think we wouldn't have to bring him back in. But after, when he came back in the fourth, he really took control of the game. His 1 missed free throw was that and 1 miss. But yeah, just Cade things again. He had a nice steal on Bridges in the second. He had that nice lob to AT. He looked comfortable and in control for most of the game. So great things from him tonight. Yeah.
I think this was this the first time we saw Braid Cade with the headband?
Yeah.
I don't think this is the first. Yeah.
Yeah.
First time ever, right? It's a good look. I like it. I think it's a good look. mature grown men look for him.
That's what I'm saying. This guy must be in his guy that he trusts must be in Texas because he came back with us, you know. So.
Bro, Shan said the same thing. My wife, she said the same thing. She's like, he must have a guy. He must have a guy. Like he got a guy or girl there that get him right.
The girls pick up on this because us girls have our own people too, you know, that we would only go see. So
it's a little different when you at home. There's a different level of comfortability. So I understand that for sure. But as far as the game, I thought he looked really good. His shot wasn't falling. Like he missed a lot of shots he usually makes.
Yeah.
And he was still almost 50%.
Yeah.
So he looked good. I did feel that early in this game, the Pistons were a little bit too reliant on his offense, running a little bit too much through him.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him always trying to look for his offense all the time. It looked like every play down for a while, he was just looking to score. And I didn't like that as much. Nothing really that he did wrong. I just feel like it was a little bit too much usage with him as far as just not having that secondary ball handler on the court like we always talk about. But despite that, he did play a good floor game. And boss, both sides.
Yes.
Both sides of the basketball, man. We talked about it earlier. But his defense, man, his transition defense tonight was on display all game. All game. It was a few plays that stood out to me. On one play, he got back on defense after a Pistons turnover and made a nice steal on Miles Bridges. That was nice. On another play, he chased down LaMelo and forced him into a tough shot, which was a miss. And then the last one, he showed that two-way playoff on one sequence in the third quarter. Where he once again got back defensively in transition, and he got a block on Knuppel. And then on the other end, he followed that up with a 3-ball swish off the catch. So defense to offense, right? That two-way ability and the two-way play, he's continuing to show it. And that's huge, man. I'm loving the effort that we're getting from him consistently on both ends of the floor. And he's leading by example with that. So I love to see that, man. I love his energy and effort on both ends of the court for sure. And still producing offensively.
Oh, yeah. He just looked good out there. And it's funny because, like, one of your critiques tonight from him was that he had a little bit too much usage, but then he ended with 10 assists. Just is great. It just shows how much the ball runs through him for us on offense. So, yeah. And again, like, he was getting a little bit, I think, frustrated towards his last few minutes in. I don't know if he was just tired. He was a little gassed. Valid complaints there. But, again, when you play both ways, that's tiring when you show up on both sides.
Exactly. So yeah, we'll take that for sure. Triple dub, almost 50%, 5-1 assist turnover ratio, both ends of the court. Like, come on, man. You can't really ask for too much more than that from Cade. He played great game tonight, despite not being able to get it going, shooting the ball like he usually is. So we'll take it. Organic says that's why I feel like Cade needs higher consideration in the MVP race. He plays both sides of the floor, unlike Luka. I won't say Jokic. Jokic just isn't athletic. I won't say he doesn't play. He doesn't do it like Cade, but I feel like he does try.
Right.
And he's crafty.
You can also say that about SGA. SGA is not known for his defense. All of his teammates are.
And it's funny because they're so good, he by default just kind of gets grouped in as if he's he's not a good defender.
No.
He's average. But those guys make him look great, like Lou Dort and Jalen Williams. And if you get by those guys, you got Chet at the rim or Harden. Like those. He may be the weakest link in the starting lineup. Yeah. As far as defense.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Jokic, I will say there is some ability. I don't think he necessarily tries. He tries to go for steals and post plays.
Okay.
But I don't think
you watch him more than we do. So I'll run into you.
Guy. But yeah, like you said, a little bit unathletic. He has trouble staying in front of a guy.
Okay.
He'll go for some stuff, some effort, but it's definitely more offensive game for him.
Okay. But yeah, so it's
organic. Like Cade should be up there with what he's producing on offense and what he's doing on defense.
For sure. Absolutely. You don't see too many guys doing what he's doing on both ends consistently from an effort standpoint and then still being able to give you the output that he's giving you. You don't see too many guys being able to do that. And it's not like he has 3 All-Stars along with him or 2 All-Stars with him like a guy like Shea does, right? He's got 2 All-Stars with him.
Yeah.
And Chet and Jalen Williams, right? So, yeah, Cade is he's a really good basketball player, man. And he continues to show it. So good for him, man.
Yeah.
Guys, let's go ahead and go to Duncan Robinson. We're going to get to as many comments as we can. We're trying. You guys are deep, man. So if we miss you guys, like we always say, repost it, caps lock, super chat, whatever you guys want to do. We appreciate the support. Just bear with us as we try to get to as many of you guys as we can. All right, guys, let's go now to Duncan Robinson. Tonight, guys, Duncan Robinson had 15 points on 5 for 10 overall, 4 for 9 from 3, which is good. 1 of 1 from the free throw line, 3 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal. in 25 minutes. What did you see from D-Rob tonight?
Yeah, I mean, just exactly that. He ended the first half with a 3 and then started the second half with a 3. That's how I knew that he was still hot, because sometimes those long rests can throw you off.
Mhm.
He had that 4-point play, which was huge, that LaMelo closeout.
Yep.
And then he had the steal in the passing lane. He just read it super well. And those are kind of skills that we've given, we've said like Javonte and Ron should maybe not go for it, but just Duncan just read it well. He
did.
Passed right to him. Got the dunk and forced the Charlotte timeout. So I liked what I saw from Duncan tonight. They definitely still, again, this is, I think, just like the zone defense. They know to attack him in terms of fouls. I think he had the most fouls on our team tonight, other than Stu.
He did. Okay.
But,
he had 4 and Stu had 5. You're right. Yep.
So yeah, I think it's just there. But again, like that, there's a certain balance between like, if you're fouling, you're showing effort too. So,
right.
And I think he just played the exact amount of minutes, had the great production, a great Duncan night, honestly, for what we want from him.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, he definitely got it going with his shot tonight. I thought he was overall good.
Yeah.
He had a very slow start. This was going to be a different, I was going to have a different tone if the way the first quarter went continued the rest of the game, but it didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't. Early on, we saw the Hornets trying to do what the Celtics did, and that was hunt him out and attack him, right? And it worked. It worked early. The Pistons, we just couldn't get stops with him in the game early. But to his credit, he did pick it up in the second half on both sides. Yeah. He found a shot, including that 4-point play you were talking about. Yeah. And you mentioned the defense. That's, for me, it's always going to start there. It's always going to start there for sure. I don't care what you're doing offensively. I don't care how bad you're shooting. Where's the effort defensively? And I thought in the first quarter it was there, but it just wasn't effective at all. But second half, to his credit, he made some plays, right? But I have to say, I am still a little bit concerned about his defense. He made plays. He made plays at times, right? But we just talked about it. The two-way play, having the two-way. I want all of our guys, at least who start. I mean, the whole team, but at least the starters. I want them all to be two-way guys. Yeah, I want them all to be two-way guys as much as possible, right? So his shot was falling tonight, but it's not always going to fall. So my only worry is when it's not, how are you going to impact the game consistently? Right. So we have guys on this team who, when they don't shoot well, like a Ron Holland or Javonte Green, for example, when the shot's not falling, they're still impacting defensively. So that's the only thing I worry about. And that's why I would like to see other guys get a look. And maybe that's going to happen eventually. But for tonight, he shot the ball well, and that made it harder for, them to be able to get out and transition against us. Right. So I'll take it tonight. And we'll see how it plays out. But tonight's game, isolated, he was good.
Yeah, I agree. And I agree with all your points there too, just defensively. Like I said, I think the effort's there, but he's learning to be a defensive player. I think we'll just continue to grow in him. Yeah. And he does, make some good decisions at times. And then again, at least he makes up for it. And, he didn't play 35 minutes tonight. Only, 15 points.
Yeah, 25 is cool.
Yeah. So it's good.
Organic says he made 4 of our 6 threes. Wow. That's crazy. That's great. So it's definitely something we got to keep an eye on as far as, being able to shore up our shooting, because we don't really have a ton of it right now. Mr. Pierce, appreciate you, bro. New members coming through in the clutch tonight. We appreciate y'all showing love, man. 100%. Avery says he ain't trying to give that starting spot up. I mean, that's a good way to do it, is to, continue to be impactful on that end of the floor. Right.
And I mean, I think Spoelstra with the Heat did have a kind of a dog mentality, but I think we really unlocked it in Duncan coming here. I think he genuinely wants to play his best for us. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, the effort's there. I don't think that's really ever a question. It's just the ability to be able to do it, right? Yeah, Gerald. Yeah, the effort's there. So you can't add. It's not even anything I was upset about with him before, except for early. It's not even about that. It's just are you giving that effort?
Yeah.
If you can give it, that's great, but how impactful are you when you're giving it, right? That's really what it comes down to. And tonight, he found ways to be impactful.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever really not trying, right? It's just a matter of the impact. So tonight, it worked out.
This season, he wasn't. That was one of our complaints about
that. It was almost like he had to it was a culture shock, and he just had to buy in and understand what it was going to require for him to be on the court. For me, what do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely agree. So, and I think it just comes with time and everything. But he is, he is the liability defensively on our team right now, but he knows that and still puts in effort. So
yeah. So I'm not gonna get on him, right?
Yeah.
It worked out in our favor, so we'll take it. And plus, his shot was falling, so that's always great too. All right, guys, let's go to Ausar, Tasmanian, backbone of the defense, Thompson. Guys, tonight Ausar had 14 points on 5 for 8 overall, 4-6 from the free throw line, which is improved. 4 boards, 2 assists, 4 turnovers is high for him. Doesn't usually have that many. 3 steals, 4 blocks. Sheesh.
Yeah.
And 26. I feel like he played more than that, but I'll take 26 for sure. What were your thoughts? Take off on Ausar tonight, boss.
Yeah, the stocks are really what stands out. Just like his defense was just phenomenal. And also like 5 of 8. That's a perfect offensive production from him tonight. Because again, we want him to focus more on defense. That's what he's there for. But in the second, he had a beautiful jump shot. He blocked that 3-point attempt in the third. And then, in the fourth, just great defense. He poked away from Bridges, which led to a basket. And he had that block on Miller, which led to Ron's, as George says, thunder dunk.
He didn't say tomahawk? I'm surprised. Everything's a tomahawk. I think he just played really good. And again, I got to see his brother today in person too. I got to see him in. Yeah, how was that like? Seeing them both up close. What did you see?
Amen comes out more energetic and confidently. He does. And that's what we've seen from Ausar lately. So as long as he, and I think you were telling me that he came out that way to start. And then when I saw him on the floor tonight, he seemed to have that same passion. So they have very similar stat lines tonight as well. So, the 4 turnovers is a little bit of an anomaly because I think I remember one happening where he kind of like went to the floor with it. But, otherwise not really sure when those happened, but I think he looked really good tonight. And I'm glad because again, his ejection, I was hoping he'd come out hungry. He was up to this game, again, the last like 7-8 games, he has been playing like hungry. It's apparent he's playing confident, so glad to see that from him tonight. But yeah. And I just hope it carries over. We're definitely going to need his defense on this West Coast trip.
Yes. 100%. Michael says, Ausar said he knows he can play hard all 26 minutes, even if he gets winded, because he knows Ron and Javonte will be able to rest him. No problem. That's a great point. That's where the depth comes in again. And that's honestly why LaMelo was in part so frustrated, is because there was never a matchup where he had a break.
Nope.
Right. It was either Ausar or it was Ron or it was Javonte. So we were able to throw bodies at him and different looks at him all night. That is a beautiful thing. He was never able to get into a rhythm as far as kind of seeing how these guys like to defend, because each play was a different guy. You had to keep thinking about it every single time. Okay, he does this. Okay, he does that. Okay, I got to be careful with this guy. He's crafty. He likes to get steal. It's tough. That's taxing. Yep. That can frustrate you, especially if your shot's not falling as a result and you're getting your shot swatted. If you're able to get by them, you got a Stu who's swatting your that's frustrating.
Yeah,
that's frustrating.
That's what we it showed, and that's a great point because it was. LaMelo was getting frustrated, not because he wasn't making his shots after this hot start, but because like we literally wouldn't allow him to.
Yep.
Like he couldn't, get down, and our defense is what led to his, little crash outs. And and so that was just good to see because that's exactly what we want. Especially, after a guy like Ausar was ejected in a situation that I don't think he should have been. And so for him to create that chaos on the court is huge.
For sure. A little side point here. Real Estate says Club 520 was at the game. Hey, that's dope. That's what's up. Shout out to those guys, man. Jeff Teague, B-Hen, DJ, and Marquise, all those guys. Shout out to those. They do a good job. They do a good job for sure. Jeff just apologized to us Pistons fans for saying that Cade wasn't an MVP candidate. And he said, yeah, he's definitely MVP. He has him number 1. As of right now. So
nice.
He's been showing love to us since JB got here. So I want to give those guys credit because they've been riding for the Pistons for sure since, even before we really started winning again. So I want to give him credit for sure. But yeah, for me with Ausar, I thought he was absolutely magnificent, boss. He seriously, he made mistakes here and there with, turnovers and whatever. But I thought he looked really well. Like how many points did he score tonight? He had, how many points? 14. When you consider how many points he prevented LaMelo Ball from scoring, He had about 25, 26.
4 blocks. And that's just on the stat sheet.
Yes, exactly. He was incredible, man.
That's
and
7
early
turnovers that he forced. 7.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's basically 14 points to the other team at minimum.
That's why I say he had about 25, 26. Easy. If you factor that stuff in, man, how many points he kept them from scoring. And early, he really kind of kept us afloat. If you guys saw the beginning of this game, when we were out the gate slow, he was really the only one trying to push the pace, get to the rim. It was just really him that was doing it. We saw Cade making the right plays right in the half court, but it was Ausar trying to board and push, trying to grab and go every single time. Even off of scores, he was trying to do it, just trying to push the pace. And you could hear Coach Bickerstaff early say, push it, push it, push it.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So Ausar was doing that. He kind of kept us afloat when it could have got a little early, kind of ugly. But I also thought too, boss, he was relentless on the glass. He's been that way for the past couple of weeks. He's not a big guy, but he's using his athleticism and his hops to really impact the boards. Like whether he's in there trying to tap the ball out for offensive rebounds, or he's providing good help defense to prevent them from getting offensive rebounds, just slapping it away off a miss. Like he's very, very important. That's why I call him the backbone of the defense. He does so many things. You mentioned those stocks, and how he covers up mistakes. He's just really good defensive awareness for sure.
And I know I didn't get to see a lot of the game, live as it was happening, but I do think that without his ejection, we would have beaten Dallas just for
probably
defense.
Probably. I mean, we had another guy to guard Cooper Flagg.
Yeah.
Who had some big shots down the stretch, right? I mean, I ain't gonna go into that again. But yeah, I'm not trying to go down that rabbit hole again. We talked about it already, but yeah, he was definitely a big piece, a big part of why we were able to get this game and put it out of reach. And I noticed this too, boss. Like we always talk about defense, offense, as far as like in the turn them over and get out in transition. Mentally for him, it's defense, offense. Like when he's able to impact the game defensively, you see him look more confident offensively. Like he's not thinking. He's not worried about making mistakes. He's just like, okay, I'm just going to play. And he's even said that. He's even said his defense is what gets his game as a whole going. If he can get a stop or a steal or a block, like you just mentioned, that gives him that confidence to be able to just go out and play offensively and not worry or not think, but just to react. And you saw it. Even when he caught the ball in spots, when he was hitting that jumper you talked about, he didn't even think about it. He didn't hesitate. Yeah. And that was because he made a few defensive plays before that to give him that confidence to just go out and play offensively. So when he's got to go on defensively, he looks like a completely different player. And again, tonight he did that. So I love it, man. He was one of the players of the game for me, though, was Ausar Thompson tonight for sure. 100%.
Definitely. I agree.
All right. We'll leave it there, guys. Let's go to Tobias Harris. Tobias, guys, had 16 points, 5 for 8 overall, 0 for 1 from 3, 6 for 8 from the free throw line, 5 boards, 3 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, 1 block. He stuffed his stat sheet tonight in 27 minutes. Boss, take off on Uncle T.
Yeah, I love what I saw from Tobias. He's just been really such a reliable scorer for us. I really do think. And I'm just impressed with how much I feel like, I don't know if I was just missing it last year, but it just felt like he wasn't dribbling himself into the paint and making these turnaround buckets. I felt like he usually just was, on the perimeter, just in the mid range, and the ball would come to him and he would just shoot it where he's at. I just feel like he's finding his comfortability. He's shooting over, bigger guys than him. I'm just loving what I see from him. Yeah. He blocked Bridges from behind, which led to that block that Stu had on Cal Brenner.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
And then he was just the king of drawing fouls. Like he was in the first half. Like he was. I think he got to the foul line in the first half. That's all of his shots were. He had 8 free throws. Yeah. And then he had a successful lob to Cade. Barely. Yeah.
And then he pointed at the bench like, hey, I can do it, guys. Despite what you think, I can do it.
Oh my God.
That was hilarious. He was so hyped for throwing that lob.
I mean, and Cade had to come high, was on his fingertips. Oh man. Like I know there's Duren, and I don't know if anyone else could have made that catch because
the way he caught it with 2 hands and
the way that he kind of waited to jump too. Yep. Like he was in the air and Cade's like, oh, let me time this right,
He had to make sure because it wasn't J.I. or Ausar tossing it to him. So he had to make sure, or J.D., he had to make sure it was going to be where he needed it to be.
Yeah. So I was just very proud of him there. Yeah, he just had a great game tonight. I'm just looking at all of our starters, 14, 15, 16, 19, 22. That's awesome. Yep. What a team effort. And he just really contributed to it. And 27 minutes, that's like the perfect time on the floor. Tobias Harris.
It is. It is.
I liked it.
Let's get some comments, guys, and then I will give you my thoughts on Tobias. Clifton says Tobias isn't what we need right now. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna get to some things too. I'm gonna see what use he doesn't agree with Tobias looks like tonight. Heisenberg says, it's a good night when Uncle T connects on the lob, 100%. He said, and then he threw a bad lob the very next. I thought it was pretty good. I felt like Ryan just tried to get too fancy on one hand that boy and throw it down. And he missed it.
Yeah,
I thought the second one was actually on target. I could be wrong. I watched it again, but I thought it was on target. But okay, so guys, here's what I see. A lot of what I said about Duncan is not as much, but to an extent is how I felt about Tobias tonight. Because he also started off very slow.
Okay. And
because I know you missed the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
He started off very slow. He got it going in the second half, getting those mismatches and getting it going in the post. Mm-hmm. But early, it was tough. I still at times with Tobias worry about the defense. There were a lot of, again, defensive breakdowns when he was on the basketball court, whether it was help side D not being there, whether it was not being able to stay in front of his man, things like that. Like he made that nice help side block you mentioned, but there were just a lot of other plays where you could see the Pistons, the defense was just compromised, and it was a lot of rotations that had to happen as a result of him not being able to stay in front of his guy. So once again, he got it going offensively, so it makes it easy to not pay attention to that, right? But we talked about two-way play, and early, it was really just early. It was that first quarter for a few guys.
I did not notice that at all.
Yeah, if you can watch the replay, you will see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I was thinking this might be a long night with both, and especially to start because they were both in the game together. So it was just kind of tough to see that. You saw JB kind of stagger him later on in the game.
Yeah.
But he knocked down shots, and I think that's what kind of masked it a little bit. But I still would rather have a guy like Isaiah Stewart in the starting lineup because of the two-way ability. Because I want that consistency every night. I want to see the consistent defensive presence every single game. And I think it's hard to be who you want to be when you have Duncan and Tobias in your starting lineup when those guys really aren't good defenders at this point in their career. If we're
going to talk about defense, then are we ready to talk about how JD sucks at it?
I was waiting this. Okay, let's get there. Let's get there. So before I end this, I want to end it on a positive note for Tobias. Because I do think that he played pretty well by his standards. It's just the defense. So that's the only thing we want to see consistently, regardless of who it is. Yeah. Right. We want to see that mindset and play to that identity. Right. But I did think that he did do enough offensively to kind of mask it and for us to still get a dub. So with that,
I just wanted to talk about more because I feel like we're tough on Duncan on defense. We're tough on Tobias on defense. But has JD just been masking his offensive aggressiveness so well that we're just forgetting that he's kind of not there on defense? He's not registering blocks.
JD, what did he do tonight? Let's get to it.
Okay. He did JD stuff, but he can do better.
Okay. So tonight, guys, she about to tee off. So let me get this out of the way. JD tonight, guys, had 19 points on 9 for 16 overall, 1 or 2 from the free throw line, 11 boards, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal in 25 minutes. So continue, boss. You were just saying with JD that you want to see more. Is it more post presence or defensively?
If we're going to argue that we need another big in the game for defense, then we need to confront that we do already have a big on there that's not contributing on defense. They don't like JD. We see it with Stu. We've seen guys turn around when they see Stu under the basket. I just haven't JD's not registering blocks. He had 11 rebounds tonight. Great. 6 were defensive, 5 were offensive. There should be more defensive rebounds in games for him. And I feel like he's just become so aggressive on offense, which I love. I love his offensive aggressiveness. I really like the shot choices that he's making. Mm-hmm. He's just attacking the basket offensively, but he just, for me, disappears on defense. And
so do you feel like guys are scoring on? Because I don't really feel like, because just because you're not getting blocks doesn't mean you're not playing defense. No, we see that with guys like Stu because they're not even trying him. I'm not saying it's the same thing, but I'm just saying just because you're not getting blocks doesn't mean you're not playing defense. I think he could be better, but I don't think he's a liability. Okay. I don't think he's a liability at all, especially the way he's crashing the glass and holding teams to one possession. That also is a part of good defense. But and I think he's doing a good job of that.
We're going to call Tobias the liability for what he did tonight, and then we have to call JD one too.
Okay, so let's break it down. When you are getting beat by your guy consistently on the perimeter, that makes it hard for you as a defender at the rim already, because you got to guard two guys now.
Okay.
So it's hard to get blocks in that situation if guys are continually getting to the paint and now it's 1 versus 2. That's what happens often. That's kind of what goes into Tobias Harris for me, is that he's not able to stay in front of his guy, which is allowing guys to get to the rim and either get a shot up or dish it off. And JD's trying to play two guys at the same. That's hard.
Right.
Stu is just a pogo stick to where he's able to just turn around like he did last game against AD and block the shot anyway. But everybody can't do that.
But
so
to your point, because you noticed these liabilities about Tobias early, I didn't because I didn't watch the game. And so I can't sit here and be like, oh, yeah, I didn't notice that with Tobias. But I also can't tell you a great defensive play that JD had tonight. I'm just saying, like, for where he's at as a center, I just think if we're going to tell all these other guys they need to play good defense, then we also need to tell JD that. And I'm not saying that he's playing bad defense, but I think he's almost so aggressive on offense compared to last year that, like, some of his defense is not. Like,
I disagree. Balance
out. Okay.
I disagree because I don't see him just allowing guys to score in the paint. Like, how many possessions did you see guys just score in the paint? Like, he didn't block shots, but he altered a ton of shots. What Heisenberg is just saying, he altered shots. Even if he didn't prevent guys from shooting, he still was able to get his hand up and prevent those guys from getting good shots at the rim.
Right.
And once that happened, he would still go and get the rebound and finish the possession. So it's not just blocks.
I'm not saying that he's playing terrible defense, but I'm also not saying that Tobias is playing terrible defense either.
I disagree. I feel like Tobias is a liability defensively, man, because he can't stay in front of his man. That's the point of attack. That's the point of attack. That's why guys like Ausar that's why Ausar is so good. That's why he's always guarding best player. He's able to keep his guy in front and he's able to funnel to the big, right, for tough shots. But a lot of time, Tobias is just getting beat. And then now you got to rotate. And now you got to guard two guys instead of one. And not like it's a totally different thing. If we had a guy who could stay in front of a guy at the top where Tobias is at, or we had a guy like Stu playing alongside JD, because now it's a totally different story. That's the whole point. You got a guy like Stu who's heavier, bigger than Tobias, but still moves his feet better. Okay. That's crazy. And so it's like, if you got Isaiah Stewart along with him, you will see an even better version of JD because now you got more presence in the paint, and now you got a defender instead of Tobias who can move their feet and stay in front of the guy.
Okay. And again, I agree with you. I'm not here telling JD a bad defender. I'm just saying I think he can do better. And I want to hold him.
I think all these guys can do better. I just think the gap is wider with Tobias as opposed to JD because he does such a great job in so many other areas outside of just blocking shots defensively.
Yeah, and Tobias does great jobs outside of his.
Like, what does Tobias do good defensively? See what I'm saying?
Defensively,
he's a great rebounder.
Okay, he got 6 defensive rebounds tonight.
He had 11 total. It doesn't matter how many you get offensive. Like, he's a good rebounder.
In a while that he's like, I mean, that's what I want to see from him, the 11 rebounds. But he had.
What has he done most of the year, boss? He's been great this whole year, so he can have a bad game or two. Tobias has struggled the entire year defensively. That's the difference.
Is just, again, I'm not out here calling him a bad defender. I'm just calling out his weaknesses as well. If we're gonna call out other guys'.
I feel like the defense could be much more. Think about this. The defense would be much more improved swapping out Tobias instead of JD.
Defenses could be. Can you repeat that?
The defense will be much more improved swapping out Tobias instead of JD.
Oh, like putting Stu in instead of JD. Or true. But
you see what I'm saying?
But Stu and yes. Sit down on defense without JD on the floor.
Say again.
But Stu can also just hold it down on defense without JD on the floor too. But I agree. I agree with what you're saying. I don't know. For me, I just think that there's room for JD to grow on defense, and I'm excited for that to happen.
A big part of it too is who comes into the game if you swap out Tobias. That's a big part of it too. Like, Tobias and Stu was not going to be much better than Tobias and JD. JD and Stu is much better than Tobias and JD. You see what I'm saying? That's the thing. It's not just who's leaving the starting lineup. It's who's coming in as a result.
Yeah.
And that person coming in is also going to make JD so much better of a defender.
I agree. I'm just curious. I'm curious what his defensive rating is. It just got me thinking. This has got me thinking lately because, I just am, they're talking about him on the live game the other day on Peacock. They're like, oh, he's like a specimen that sticks out. And he does. Mm-hmm. Mostly on the boards. Yes. I don't know. It's more of so me curious about where what JD can do more defensively, because he seems so aggressive on offense.
Like, check this out.
And he does have multiple, Tobias says, okay.
I need more than 4 boards from my power forward. I'm sorry.
It's funny. I need more than 4 boards. JD, which he was averaging last week, but
out of the season. Well, you're talking about two games out of the year.
Last week he was
he what? 2 games out of what? 28.
So Ausar too. Oh, Tobias had 5 rebounds, by the way.
So 1 more than his average.
Ausar had 4.
See what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean, I get it. This was more a discussion in terms of what I've noticed from JD is that he's being uber aggressive. And I just trust him more as an offensive center than a defensive one.
Say it one more time. The last part.
See him more and trust him more as an offensive center than a defensive one.
I mean, he's 21, 22 years old.
Yeah, and he's going to have room to grow and everything. And
so,
I completely agree. But I'm just saying, like,
and when you look at where he's like, we can't expect him to be a top level to like when you consider where he was.
Things anymore. I just won't point out things anymore.
No. I'm just saying, like, we can talk about it. I have no problem talking about it, but I'm not gonna talk about it as a result of covering for somebody else. Is what I'm saying. Like, we can talk about Tobias and leave that be where it is.
Okay.
And then talk about JD and leave that be where it is.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like there needs to be a change at the 4 because of who we're trying to be.
Okay.
Like, the physicality piece is important too. Look at the playoffs last year. If Stu was starting alongside JD, we don't lose that series to the Knicks. It don't happen.
Right.
So,
yeah. But that's a Stu thing. That's not a JD thing. That's a Stu thing.
It's a Tobias thing because he's starting instead of Stu. It's just not who he is.
Okay.
He's not a defensive player. He's not a defensive-minded player. It's okay. Like, I love Tobias Harris on the team. I think he's better suited in the second line. It's not a coincidence that we have the best defensive rating or second best defensive rating in the league when Stu was starting with JD. It's not an accident. So that's all I'm saying.
I put that more on Stu. Like you said, I put that more on Stu and Tobias off the floor than I do put that on Duren, which is who I was talking about this game.
If Tobias was a better defender, he could still start, right?
But would you be okay with Duren? Like, say we didn't have Stu to just lie back on. Would you be okay with JD's defensive performances in games lately?
Yeah, I would. Absolutely. Because, I mean, how many? He's like second or third in the league in rebounds.
Yeah, the rebounds are great.
So, once again, what does Tobias do well defensively? That's what I'm saying. Like, at least he's.
Talk about JD.
Okay. So yes, I think he is just where he needs to be.
I think that he needs to be better.
Like, I think this is an important point. He'd be good with Paul Reed.
I agree, but I think he's super aggressive on offense, and it's been so cool to see. But it's almost like he's like how we were just talking about how Cade does it at both ends of the floor, and yet Duren has rebounds that he's finally picked up again after a few bad games of them. But I don't know. I see more potential. I see the potential in JD that I think he can hit this season. And I just want to see him hit it.
For sure. No, I think that's the case for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's anything to where you would like say we got to swap him out of the starting lineup because he's that bad.
No. But
okay.
I mean, to me, like when I think of Stu, I think of defense. And when I think of JD, I think of offense.
Really?
Yes.
I don't see it that way. Because we agree, disagree. Okay, but I definitely don't see it that way for sure when it comes to JD.
I love this stuff. But yeah, when I think of Jalen Duren, I think of a guy who's producing on offense. When I think of Stu, I think of a guy who's producing on defense.
Okay. All right, we'll leave it there. After that spirit discussion, guys, we will leave it there. Y'all going crazy in the comments too. All right, let's keep moving, guys.
Don't be thinking I don't like Jalen Duren. I love Jalen.
I'm just not gonna have you attacking JD to protect Tobias. That's what it felt like. That's why I'm saying that. Because as soon as I got on Tobias, she was like, "Well, since we're talking about defense, we gotta get to JD." I'm like, "Come on now."
But
we gotta compartmentalize it a little bit.
Well, that's like I did bring up the wrong time because it feels like the first thing we want to do is talk about Tobias's weaknesses, which is fine. But then okay, I want to talk about what I see weak in other players. But then it becomes a big debate, which is fine. So, but I just bring out the wrong time. It's like if we're gonna, and you know me, all I want to do is talk about the positives. So
but you're talking about JD and negative.
right? So if I'm thinking here that I want to, if I'm like trying to talk about the weaknesses that I see, and then it gets, confused a little bit that I'm like attacking him but it's just more just like, this is just what I see from him. And for me, he's not all positive. You guys are like, if Sarah's so positive, okay, well now Sarah's going to show up a weakness, and then no one agrees. Well, actually,
no, I think it was just off the back of Tobias. Cause even me, I wasn't just talking about his Tobias's negatives. Like I mentioned how well he played offensively, not been consistent. It ain't just Tobias. Same with Duncan Robinson. Right?
You did bring up your positives, but you focused on his negatives in a game where he was our third leading scorer. And I think that's what we should focus on too.
Well, who are we, boss? We're a defensive team. So the focus should be on your deficiencies if they're on the defensive end.
Right. From JD as well.
Yeah, but once again, there's a bigger issue with Tobias as opposed to JD.
Yeah.
So it should be more emphasis on Tobias than JD.
Yeah.
All right. We'll leave it there, guys. We'll leave it there. Me and her going to cuss each other out after this is over, so we won't do that here. Let's go ahead, guys, and move to our bench. Let's start with Paul Reed, who played 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Did we talk about JD?
Did we get to JD? I thought we got to JD quite a bit, but we can go to him again if you want.
Oh, maybe I did. Oh, yeah, we did. Sorry.
We did, right?
Yeah,
okay.
You're sticking with Paul Reed. I love that.
By the way, I hope JD's all right. He took a hard fall, man. Took a tough fall. I'm glad he didn't break his, because they always tell you when you come down like that, you don't want to come down with your hands.
Yeah.
It's the natural reaction, but you don't want to do that. And thankfully, he kind of landed on his back to where it didn't really do any crazy damage.
He's gonna feel that tomorrow.
He is definitely gonna feel that tomorrow for sure. Get the heating pad ready because he's gonna feel that for sure. But yeah, we'll leave it there. And now, guys, we will go to Paul Reed, man. 2 minutes. Yeah. Why is Paul Reed playing 2 minutes? Did he do anything? Let me see. He had a turnover and a block. So I need more. I'm not even gonna complain. We won, but 2 minutes from Paul Reed. Free Paul Reed, man. Free people Paul. All right. Let's keep it moving, guys. Let's go to Stu. Tonight, guys, Isaiah Stewart had 8 points on 2 for 7 overall, 1 for 3 from 3, 3 for 4 from the free throw line, 11 boards, 4 turnovers, 2 steals, 3 blocks in 24 minutes. What did you see from Dog Pound Sr.?
Yeah, 11 rebounds with 3 blocks. That's defense.
Yep.
No, that was beautiful. I mean, he seemed like he gave the ball over a little bit. And there were a few times that they were just slipping through him, and I don't know what it was really, but he made up for it. He hit his 3, he got it going. Where's my notes on him? I don't think I have too many. Oh, well, he got himself to the free throw line pretty early and often. He had that block on Kalkbrenner. But I just noticed the Hornets literally backing down when they saw him. Like they would just change, like they would start driving in or whatever, and then they'd have to pull out and reassess, which is huge. He had that big block on ball at the end of the second, that block on Salon. Yeah, just doing Stu things. 5 fouls, which was frustrating because you just don't want that would be an issue with like the 2 big lineup, which we've talked about. It can either go beneficial of like they share each other's fouls and keep each other out of foul trouble, or if one gets into foul trouble early, it's kind of concerning, but he goes up and down. Some games he gets 2 or 3, so it's fine. Just lots of effort from him as usual. Love to see Stu out there. So I think it was a really good game. It
was definitely uneven. He had a lot of uncharacteristic, because he doesn't usually hurt you on the basketball court, right? And tonight he had some very uncharacteristic turnovers. I think Josh Green swiped it from him twice in a row on back-to-back plays. That doesn't happen too often. I thought that in the paint though, he was great. Right, you mentioned the shots he swatted left and right. How do you say his name? Kalkbrenner? Is it Kalkbrenner?
Kalkbrenner, yeah.
Kalkbrenner, okay. Yeah, swatted his shot, gave up 5 inches, swatted his shot. Good job with LaMelo when he got funneled to him. But the turnovers were uncharacteristic. Not down to 3, shooting a career high 40% from 3 this year, which is good. But the mental mistakes, what stood out for me too. Like he got into a shoving match with Diabate at the free throw line, where he just pushed him down to the free throw, put him back on the line. It's like, come on, Stu, you can't do that. And then the big play at the end of the third quarter, right? We were up 10. After having a 20-point lead, went down to 10. Didn't close the quarter well, but he fouled Diabate. Is it Diabate?
I think that's when he fouled Ball. Oh no, that was the second.
Yeah, it was Diabate on the 3-ball, and he crowded a space and didn't let him land. And that was the flagrant foul came. So it was a 3-ball, 3 free throws plus the ball out. So just some uncharacteristic plays from Stu tonight. You can't have it, right? We can have it in the game where we were, playing an inferior team, but you can't do stuff like that. But he doesn't do that often. I think he's just still trying to toe that line. He's got much better with that, but he did allow the Hornets to get under his skin tonight.
Right. Yeah,
he did allow that. He played great for the most part, but if he's going to start like I envision him eventually starting, can't really have too many of those. So I'm not going to kill him for it. He usually is not hurting the team like we talk about. So it happens sometimes. So overall, it wasn't a great game. It was a good game. It was a good game, but there's definitely some things he can work on for sure.
Yeah. Oh, sorry guys, my camera keeps unfocusing. But yeah, I agree. Just a couple little things here, but otherwise he looked good and made up for it. I mean, the 3 blocks alone is just on defense, and you can tell he doesn't like. I don't think this is a game that he necessarily likes for himself. Even 8 and 11, like 11 rebounds is big off the bench.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he will do better. I mean, for me, when he has games like this, I just think it motivates him to do better the next one, which is big. So
yeah. Mecklemore says JD and Stewart is a problem. It's not many centers that are better than JD in the league. I wouldn't be surprised if he's on. That'd be dope if we had him along with Cade.
They're predicting that. There's a lot of people predicting that.
Chandler Parsons from Running Back TV has been saying Cade to the Olympics as a starting point guard for like 6 months now. Like, he's been on that, and I don't see anybody else who's really in his way to get there as a starting point guard for Team America, for USA, just because of how he's playing. But JD being there with him, JD a couple more years of polishing and getting older and improving that defense.
It's so
a little bit more we talked about.
A bit more
he can get there.
Yeah, but it is scary what he is doing now, and just his age again, just remembering that he's only 22.
Yeah, especially compared to last year, the start of last year, where he was just it was tough at the beginning of last year. Yes. So to see his growth is great for sure. But you are right. You are right as far as the improvement. I think all these young guys still have room to grow.
Yeah.
And that's the positive piece for sure. But yeah, Chandler Parsons is a huge Pistons fan. He's been showing love for a while too now. A lot of people have been showing love since, and it's all kind of centered around when Coach got here. Like, they knew what kind of coach he was, and they were excited about what he could do with this team. So it's nice to see that for sure. Mike Hustle says Billy Ray Cyrus is Chandler Parsons. That's hilarious. That's funny. All right, guys. Let's move on now to who we're gonna go to next, boss. Let's go to Ron Holland. Let's go to Ron Holland. So tonight, guys, Lil Ron had 9 points on 3 for 10 shooting, 0-4 from 3. He could not get the shot going tonight. 3-4 from the line, 9 boards, which is big. 1 assist, 1 turnover, 1 steal, and 23. What did you see from Dog Pound Jr.?
Yeah, he was just aggressive. This is just how he is. He was super handsy. Again, like the box score doesn't show the impact that he actually had in the game. Like, if you look at that box score, you'd be like, oh my gosh, like the shots he were taking was bad. He wasn't making them. Like 27% is low. Yeah, but he just made up for it in so many other ways.
Yeah.
He had that great find to JD under the basket. That was like that Cade threw it.
That was nice.
Immediately tossed it. Like, it looked really good and just really intentional when I know it wasn't. Like, it was a run out play. It was a transitional play.
Yeah.
And again, the thunder dunk off the AT block. Just super aggressive and handsy as he always is. And that when they called it out of bounds off of Detroit, and
his face, I saw that too.
I was dying laughing. Like, I was just like, because he's not a whiner and complainer. Like, he's one of those guys that genuinely will just look at you in shock. Like, what do you mean? Because So that wasn't dramatic. That was pure confusion.
And he was so mad because he looked at the bench.
Yeah.
And he was probably upset because they had just used their challenge.
Yeah.
So they couldn't even use it, which was tough.
Oh yeah, I know. And the challenge was even questionable. I don't know. Some challenges I just leave it. But I kind of get that one because the Hornets were kind of on a run. They were like, let's just end the momentum. So I kind of see why I saw that. I could see it going either way. But it was just frustrating when you lose a challenge early. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, Ron's one of those guys too. Those like where we talked about it before. If he's not shooting the ball well, he could still be a Swiss Army knife. Still find ways to get it done for you. I noticed the Pistons went to him early when JD got in foul trouble. I was looking for Paul Reed, but they went to Ron. I was surprised. I think Stewart just coming to the game. And I think JD got his second foul early, and they went to Ron. I was expecting to see B-Wall Paul, but they went to Ron. So that was interesting.
I will optimistically say that JB made that call based on the matchup because the Hornets don't really have a big. They have a lot of bigger guys that perimeter shoot, play outside. So Ron, I think, is the better call for that. Maybe if we were playing someone, like New York, who has the two bigs, he would go with someone like Reed to help, like Cat or help against Robinson, stuff like that. But that's just because JB, I don't know. I feel like some of the fan criticisms from him have been some of his lineup choices. Like I know when we get to LeVert, we're going to get into it. But I feel like he's starting to make some more intent, like in the moment decisions, not necessarily off of what's the word? Not repetition, but like consistency, like just trying to make the right call for the moment. And I do think that Ron was the better call for who the Hornets have.
They're a small team. Yeah, they're definitely not a big team. Somebody did mention Diabate did kill JD last year. Yeah. I remember that game, and I was so annoyed. Like, bro, come on. So didn't happen tonight, and that was good to see.
They have a lot of young guys that are good. And again, like what's just going to come down to them is they are going to have to eventually move someone. And my first pick would be LaMelo Ball based on who you have now.
Oh man.
And what's his capital? And then they got to bring in some. If I was running the Hornets, I'd also focus on bringing in some, maybe even trading some picks and bringing in some, not even vets, but like mid-level guys. Because LaMelo's been in the league for as long as Cade has, but is not at that level. He's playing like he's young. He's playing.
He actually came in before Cade.
And he's playing like he's young and new. And now they got all these young guys. They just need some balance, I think. Yeah, so,
he came in with Ant-Man the year before. So it ain't like he's 20 years old, 21 years old. Like he's been around for a while. It's a few players in the league now, which is like based on their name, you would think they would command more in a trade, but they really wouldn't.
Yeah, because
it's like guys like Zion, like. It's hard to really get rid of these guys now because teams don't want low character guys on their team. As far as when it comes to basketball, not saying I don't know who they are off the court, but as far as their morale and what they contribute leadership wise, a lot of these teams don't want these guys, regardless of how talented they are. It's like what's inside you.
I can't speak to how the Hornets run, but we know that wouldn't be accepted in Detroit. Trajan has iterated that multiple times too.
Absolutely not.
I think it's gonna be quite the interesting offseason in terms of some guys like Ja, like Zion, like LaMelo, like some of these guys that have just been, I don't know, undeservingly cocky.
Yeah, you haven't done nothing, bro. Like you haven't done anything. Yeah. Sean says lame low. Hey man, I like that. Came in with Killian. That was the same year that
I'm calling him low forever now.
He went lame low. He went second because Ant-Man went first. He went second, and I forgot after that. But Killian went seventh in that same draft. So yeah, he's been around for a while. And there's no excuse really as far as to the lack of maturity. It's just like he doesn't care about winning. It seems like to me. That's my opinion. I don't know, but just the way he plays is not a good look. He definitely would not be accepted here, regardless of how talented he is. The same way the guy like that's why Ja Morant wouldn't be welcome. It's the same reason.
At this point, it's more so about cheap.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you willing to pay for him? Nothing.
Right.
Nothing. Still.
I think a lot of these teams are going to be disappointed as far as what they get back. It's not going to be what they think. So It is what it is. Not our problem.
Exactly.
All right, guys. As far for me with what I saw from Ron. Oh, the other thing, the only thing that I saw with Ron that I want to kind of see him work on, obviously the shooting is going to come along eventually.
Yeah.
But I want to see him try to, and I want to make sure I'm measured with this because you guys have heard me say more than anything else, basically, that I want to see defense to offense, defense. I want to see them get out and run, transition, all that stuff, right? But I do think there are times when Ron kind of forces the issue a little bit too much in transition. Like it may be times when he doesn't have numbers, where it's a one-man break and there are 2-3 defenders back and they're packing the paint. He's trying to bully his way, turns it over. That's the only thing I would want to see him work on this a little bit. It's just sometimes it's okay to pull it out if you don't have numbers.
Yeah.
We know he's a great finisher. And he hangs his hat on that. He's fast. He gets downhill. He's very quick and shifty. But sometimes if it's not there, just pull it out a little bit and wait for somebody to come with you, or just wait for a play to get ran and then kind of go from there. But that's the only thing I can really say about Ron.
Yeah, and I think that some of his decision making has been a lot better in other games too.
For sure.
I think that it was just he's trying to. The Hornets were pretty fast paced as well tonight. But yeah, I think that tonight just some decisions were a little bit off, but he obviously earned his minutes out there, no matter what the box score says, because
Absolutely.
he just brought it all.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not gonna nitpick because he played great. He was a menace. He was a menace all over the court, man. Just doing the small thing, doing little things. He knows who he is. Clifton says it's hard to ask him to be nuanced. I understand that. He's still a very young player, and he kind of only knows one speed right now, and I'm not mad at that. I think that'll come with time. He's just really trying to buy all the way into his role, and I'm okay with stuff like that. It's just something I noticed that I think eventually he'll kind of figure out on his own. But
Look,
he's really good.
There's a really good player named Russell Westbrook who never really learned how to slow it down, and it has cost him something.
Yeah, and they're different players, but I understand your point. It's like he doesn't know how to do anything other than just go full speed. But we have seen at times how it has hurt him.
Ron got one gear. That's what I could say about Westbrook.
Yeah.
That's more of what I'm really. They both got one gear.
Yeah. They go hard.
Style players and stuff like that, but you can see where it can be detrimental to your team if you can't figure out how to harness that and use it in the right way.
Yeah, and guys, don't get it twisted. I have more patience for him than most guys on this basketball team. I have a lot of patience for a lot of these guys, but for him to be doing what he's doing already, y'all know me, man. I'm always just trying to see how can these guys get better. It's not an indictment on anybody. It's like, how can he get better? I see the ceiling. Let's get him as close as possible to it because he really can be very good on this team. That's where I'm at.
You agreeable ever since we fought. He says that all you're going to do is agree with me. So if I say something you don't agree with,
you ain't got to tell me that.
All right,
I'm unfiltered.
In case you feel that you have to, I don't.
Nah. I unapologetically, I'm gonna keep it a stack. Y'all know me. I don't care who get mad about it. It made me know. Never mind. You like it or you not. Like it or don't.
It up, and maybe I'll just have to figure out how to rephrase this, whatever. But Duren is top 10 in defensive rating this year.
Yeah. So my boss, come on, boss. What are we doing?
I don't know.
That's why I was saying I felt like you were just kind of protective of Tobias because he's gotten a lot of flack this year.
I think of my wording better because I know that when he's out there, he is a plus for us. He is huge on rebounds and boards. He's been aggressive. I don't know. I just think maybe I'm just spoiled with him right now because I felt like his defensiveness last year was great, that aggressiveness, and now we've seen it take off on offense. And maybe I'm just like, oh, well, now I want it on both ends. Where it's like, well, it is there, but I just don't see it. But
no, it's just gonna take a little time.
Yeah,
it's gonna take a little time. That's really like all these guys, like we said, have room to grow. All these guys have areas to improve in. It's not just one guy. JD's one of those guys that has areas to improve in. I'm just content with where he is right now with this age, with what, especially considering where he came from last year. Like,
and and I've gone on him the past few games too of not having the best rebounds when we know we can do better. So I think it's off of but I see you there and I know you can do better, but he's showing up and showing out overall. So I mean, we're 22-6, so all these guys are contributing in their own way. It was just something that's been on my mind. I was like, I'll just bring it up today, but I didn't bring it up in the best way.
You was like, y'all getting on Tobias? Oh, hold my beer. I got something for y'all.
Because we're gonna do that. But no worries.
Oh man, it's all good. It's all good. It's all love. Y'all know what's up in the chat, man. This is good conversation, and we are going to continue to have it unfiltered and unbiased, and we're gonna keep it real.
And I see you guys chat. I see that some of you understand the point that I'm getting at as well. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I understand your point too.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna agree like y'all think just because of what happened before. Y'all should know about now, man. Come on. All right. We'll leave it there, guys. Let's go to I keep seeing y'all ask about it, so I guess I'll get to it. Let's go to Caris LeVert. Caris LeVert, guys, tonight had 2 points on 0 for 2 shooting. Both of those shots were threes. He missed both of them. 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 2 boards, 2 turnovers, 2 steals, 1 block in 18 minutes. Boss, take off on Caris LeVert.
I get it, guys. It wasn't his best game. I don't think that this is anything to get like everyone's mad about at Caris tonight. I didn't see the Mavs game. I heard that wasn't great either. But
it wasn't that good.
He wasn't throwing up shots. He went 0 for 2. He had a steal. I think he played aggressively on defense. I agree that he didn't have, the turnovers cancel out the assists. Like he didn't foul. I don't know. He played for 17 and a half minutes. That's not terrible. We've seen JB keep him in longer for that. So for me, I'm just like, Caris didn't do anything to wow me tonight. His plus minus is a 0. So he literally just contributed nothing. So you'd like to see other guys like Ivy, like Jenkins. That's who I would have liked to see have his minutes tonight. But I also think that he played, he was in there. I feel like I saw him early on, and then we didn't see him again a lot.
Who's that, Caris?
Fourth, yeah. He wasn't in the fourth, right?
Yes, it's crazy because he didn't play a ton of minutes. Like last game, I think he had 27, I think, last game, boss. So it wasn't even like he played a ton tonight, which was interesting.
Yeah, and so again, like he didn't really do much. He had 2 points, 2 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block. Like he did good defense. Is what I noticed. I noticed some aggressive defense.
I agree with that.
Other than that, I couldn't tell you what he did. I couldn't pull a play out of my head. But
he wasn't.
I think he's had worse games this season, and he's definitely had better games this season. So this is just kind of this is also the second or third game where his plus minus is 0. Again, plus minus isn't a huge thing, but it's just kind of like he was there.
And that's the thing. Like we don't want him Tony Snelling every game,
right.
But he hasn't been. Right? He's had it's either been hot or cold, hot or cold, hot or cold.
The minute for me, it's just so funny because if he has a good game, people are like, well, I'll give him this one. And the minute he has a bad game, they're like, get him off of my team. So
we can't be prisoner of the moment after one game.
Yeah.
When we get a big enough sample size.
But
then we can kind of go ahead.
I would have liked to see more Ivy. I would have liked to see more Jenkins. But I do think the 2 steals and a block and what I remember from him on defense, I think that's what kept him in for the minutes that he was there. And again, he was 0 for 2. That's better than 0 from 7.
Yeah.
I think he caught on quickly. My shot's not going down. How else can I contribute? So.
I can live with that. Like it wasn't a high output game. It wasn't even a high impact game positively, but it also wasn't a high impact game negatively either.
Yeah, you better.
But we will agree that if he's going to be on this team getting minutes, he has to be more positive than negative more times than not.
Yeah. You better go in on him so people don't call you agreeable.
No, honestly, like I don't ever want to be prisoner of the moment.
Right.
We're still only like not even 30 games into the season. Yeah. When it comes to him, we've seen him when he's played very, very well, and then we've seen him when he's played bad.
Right.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But I do agree with this. This is now it's kind of what I was getting at. The consistency piece. Like one thing that JB Bickerstaff said about him is that he has the ability to play both sides of the basketball.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't really seen that consistently yet, right? He's been solid defensively.
Yeah,
he'll make a great play and then a bad play. Like I think he had a nice steal and then he got under the hoop and just kind of threw it up in the air, like it just and then lost the ball. So yeah, he's okay right now. I would at this point I would have expected more, to be honest, but it hasn't been terrible if we're being fair.
And I was an advocate. I was excited for him when we got him preseason.
I was too.
I've talked to you about this. I've talked to guys like Pistons Jack about this. Like we've talked about, like, I was like, I don't think people understand, like Caris is going to be a great fit. But so I agree with what you just said. So like now a fourth of the way through the season, this is when we need you to be that reliable scorer as well, because that's what I was like, oh, he's going to help. He has great jump shot. He's great in the paint. And so we are seeing the defense, I think, pretty consistently. So now the scoring just needs to catch up with it. I still have faith in him that he's going to get there, but I also think that he doesn't. And again, 17 minutes, that's good. I'm good with that. He's not playing 27 minutes, putting him that line. That would be concerning. Right. So he still has time to get there. But I think what you said too, at this point, that's kind of where I'm at. It's like based on what I've seen from him, especially when he was on the Cavs, like I just really liked his offensive output as well. Yeah. And we haven't gotten that. Like Organic said, consistently. It's like every few games he puts on a show on both ends. Otherwise, it's hit.
So like, it's a few things for me. I think you made some good points there. Like we always talk about how we don't want to see Cade having 10 eyes on him defensively. Yeah, I'm not really seeing a lot of attention being given to Caris LeVert when he's out there with Cade. Mm-hmm. That to me is problematic. I don't feel like they're paying him enough attention for the reason that he's out there, right? Which is to be that secondary guy. They're still like, all right, we see you. Watch Cade. That's kind of what it feels like when I still watch him play. You know, offensively, I think defensively he's okay, right?
People but being nice about him today.
I do want to see more consistency though. Yes. And I know I do think it's gonna come. I said I'm on record. I said when he first got here, between him and Duncan, I thought he'd be the most important signing. Yeah, because of the two-way ability that he has. I haven't seen what I thought I was gonna see yet. It's still early, but I just want to. I'm very curious, boss, as to how by the end of the year, what are the minutes going to look like? Right. That's what I'm like, because we know we're still trying to figure it out, you know. And I don't know if JB's just trying to give these guys individually extended minutes to see how they do. Like tonight, Ron had 23.
Yeah.
That was more than both Jaden and Caris. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, is he just trying to see who can give you the most when they're given the minutes? But I'm also confused about this as well, as far as what Masha said. I want to see Dennis Jenkins get more minutes. I don't understand the Caris and Jaden lineup. Like, you got two combo guards out there together. Cade and Jaden, Cade and Caris, or Dennis and Jaden, Dennis and Caris. I want to see the point guard, shooting guard, a point guard in the court at all times, a natural point guard at all times. And tonight we haven't really seen it lately. So I don't know.
It was that Atlanta game where I was literally like, I think Caris came in and then Ivy came in and Cade was still out there and then Jenkins came in for Cade. And I like brought up, I was like, this can be our second unit. There's our backup point guard. And ever since he said that, Dennis hasn't come in.
Right. I don't get it.
He's a minute guy. And I don't understand because I think he's earned the right to be out there. And like a Caris and a Dennis and an Ivy makes sense to a point, but like behind Cade.
See, that doesn't make sense to me though. Like
they played well
those two together don't make sense to me.
Then okay, but I guess
because you don't have a table setter between either of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he also plays well with Duncan, but doesn't play often with him, and so I think that's just another thing that we're going to see now. Is like Ivy's going to replace Duncan, I'm sure, soon in the starting lineup. Again, I thought that Ivy was going to have at least 25 minutes tonight. I even told him
especially because Caris only had 17. And it seemed like Jaden's kind of going the other way. It's kind of, I don't know. Go ahead.
And then it'll be like a Jenkins and a Caris and a Duncan thing, which would be defense and as a second lineup. I don't know. The lineup is hard. But anyways, I think mostly why me and you keep being like, is because we know what Caris can do. Yeah. And we're just waiting for him to do it for our team. You know?
Yeah. So it's like, I don't even know if they know how it's going to shake out yet. Yeah. Like, I think they're trying to figure it out as well. And that's why you've seen guys get inconsistent minutes. You've seen guys who play 20 minutes and then get a DNP the next game. Mm-hmm. I think they're just trying to figure it out. As far because it's the curse of having a lot of depth. Right? Because we can't play 12 guys a night all year. No. We just can't do it. We got guys that can play, that are able to play every game, but we can't play 12 guys, especially in the playoffs. That's going to get shortened to like 10, maybe even 9, right? So I just want to see, I'm surprised Danis isn't playing more. Like, I definitely want to see more J.I. I want to see J.I. and Danis together. Yeah. We haven't seen a lot of that. I want to see that. I want to see somebody setting the table and having J.I. be that secondary guy like he did tonight in his limited time. Even though he didn't shoot the ball great, still play pretty well. So I don't know. But I'm not mad at Caris. Back to Caris. I'm not going to overreact. Yeah. He's not playing great right now. He has had great games, though. Mm-hmm. So now it's just about, and it's hard to be consistent when you're not getting consistent minutes every night. Yeah. Going from 27 to 18 that's not the easiest thing in the world. Yeah. Because you're used to being able to get into a flow by a certain point in the game and all these different things. So it's like when that happens, and I know he didn't play well last game either, but it's hard when you don't play well with 27 and then you get cut to 17 and you expect to play well. Like that's hard if we're being real. So I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough.
I'm just rooting for him because we know the type of player he can be. He started the season off injured, then he was back-to-backs, then it was minutes restriction. I just felt like at least, not this game, not last game, but for like 4 or 5 games of these past 10, he was consistent for us. And so that's just what gets you excited, is when he is, flowing well and looking good with the offense and everything and looking like he finally fits. So we'll just have to see, like you said, we'll just see where it goes going forward. Right. And also, if he is going to be cemented a little bit in the second unit, what the second unit's even going to look like.
Exactly.
In 2 weeks.
Exactly. So we'll see. Let's get to some comments here. It's really engaging. I know y'all was waiting on Caris, so let's get to see you guys' comments. Dante's first one. Dante says, you don't just buy players, you have to pay your expensive players, so at least you can keep their value. I think that's fair. He's making what, 14, I think either 14 or 16, I think a year.
He's also like in a contract that's trade friendly. Like he's not, I disagree with that. I don't disagree with that notion, but for Caris, I do. Okay.
Drake says, y'all keep it flowing. Great chemistry is top tier even after disagreement. Man, we disagree all the time, yo. This is light. This is PG. We've been going at it like offline. This is nothing. So, but we're glad that you guys appreciate the back and forth because we do this on a regular. It'd be something wrong if we weren't doing
And
this.
it'd be so boring if we agreed on everything.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We ain't got to be first take with it, but we're going to be honest with it. Let's get a few more comments. Let's see here, guys. We're trying to get as many as we can. Hopefully JB finds that lineup with the point guard like LB did with Lindsey Hunter and Mike James. Okay. Yeah. And this team, you could argue, has more depth than that team. Not saying they're better, because I don't think they are. But as far as guys who have the ability, this could be even harder to figure out.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely see there for sure. Go ahead.
That team had very good depth, but I think if you put in the way that we've been able to put in our bench, and we've been confidently be able to say like, oh, this can go and our bench could win a game as our starting five.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily see that for the 04-05 teams. But again, great depth for guys that we can rely on to come in and keep it going.
Right. For sure.
That's kind of how I compare our depths.
I think that's fair. BC says, whose minutes are you taking away from to get Danis more? Caris. For real. Like, I'm just being real. And it's not even because it's just because of this construction of the units. Right. I don't want two shooting guards coming off my bench and one's playing point guard.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they can both play it in spots, but I want a table setter at all times on the court. Danis is that, and Cade is that. That's kind of why I thought we brought Danis here, was to be that Dennis Schroeder-ish type of point guard off your bench, right? To just set the table when Cade can sit, so Cade can sit down comfortably without having to play 40 minutes a game. I thought that was why Danis was brought in, to be that guy. And I think he's shown he can be that guy whenever he's played. So it is puzzling for me that he's not playing now. I'm not gonna lie to you, but that would be who I would give those minutes to. I would give because, and honestly, boss, for me, I think once J.I. gets to the level we think he's gonna get to, we're gonna see Duncan's minutes get cut into and Caris's minutes get cut. I think Caris is just more trusted because he has played with coach before, and he's not coming off missing 10 months of not playing basketball. And I think that's what it is.
I also think, this is the way that Caris continues to play. Like, this isn't someone that we're bringing back. And that's not a jab to Caris. Again, it's going to be hard with a lot of the guys that we have seen just express their talent this year. Like, he has a trade-friendly contract, all these things. But I also can see him also just popping off soon and getting into a rhythm and being very, needed for us in the like playoffs and future seasons. So yeah,
it's gonna be tough. I'm really curious to see how it plays out, man.
Same. I just also want to just get to Clifton. You keep bringing up MTJ. If you're a place to buy the MTJ chip,
I'm straight,
guys.
Listen, you watched him. You live in Denver.
I watched.
Go ahead, take off.
Denver. Thank you, MPJ, for your championship contributions. We are so glad he's gone. No one misses him. There is an entire sales rack. You can buy a jersey right now for $30 at Denver. Wow. No one wants it.
Tell me why. Tell us why. Real quickly, and then we'll move on.
Well, it's honestly probably mostly because of his comments online post-trade.
Okay.
That image. But also, he's not a team guy. Yeah, he's getting career highs in assists right now because he plays for the Nets.
Yeah. We saw what Cam Thomas was last year, right?
It took him like 20 games last season to register an assist with the Nuggets.
Wow.
He just doesn't move the ball. He doesn't run up the court. He's not a transition player. The way that his style of basketball does not fit with us. So I'm not saying that we don't need a move or we shouldn't have a trade. I'm just saying we can do better than MPJ, who's on the market right now or rumored to be on the market. There's much better fits than Michael Porter Jr.
And he's making $34 million this year.
And guys, if Jokic liked him, he'd still be here.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
That's and that's not to take away from what he can bring. Mm-hmm. He does bring the shooting.
Yeah.
He's not a really good defender. I'm
just saying, Clifton, I know you disagree, and that's fine.
She watched him every game. Like
fine. But it's okay. Everyone's around to have their opinions. But
that's true. That's true.
In terms of Detroit basketball,
I'm good.
There's better fits. For sure.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm straight on that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna talk about trades tonight. We're not doing that because I love this team. And I'm gonna allow Trajan to do his job. I'm not gonna do that. But I don't think if we're going to make a move, I don't think MPJ is a guy.
No.
Exactly. I just don't. That's just me. All right, let's leave it there, guys, before we get too deep into this conversation. Keep the comments coming on. All right, guys, let's go now to Javonte Green, boss.
Yeah.
Javonte Green tonight had 2 points, 1 of 4 shooting overall, 1 from 3, 4 boards, 1 assist, 2 steals, 1 block in 14 minutes. So not a high scoring output, but he did a lot of other things. What did you see tonight from Savage Woe?
Yeah, I mean, 14 minutes, it kind of shocks me. It seems low. I felt like he was on the court a lot more. And that just goes to show his, what he was out there to do. And again, it wasn't his shooting. It was the 3 steals. It was, the defense. He, once again, didn't register a personal foul. As the guy who just is such a big defender for us, I just think that's huge to do. 3 rebounds. He's just great with ball movement. Yeah, the box score just doesn't necessarily reflect what he does. He just like Ron tonight, he was just super handsy, lots of deflections, got in people's way, just played great defense.
Yeah.
So yeah, 14 minutes kind of shocks me. I think I would have guessed more like 18, 19, just because I feel like he was just there in pivotal moments of the game. So.
Yep. Yeah, he's Mr. What You Need coach, right? He didn't shoot it once. We sound like a broken record. Mm-hmm. You're not always going to shoot great. But like you said, it felt like he played way more than that because he was so impactful in this game, aside from shooting the basketball. Right. Those are the types of guys I love, guys. That's why it may seem like I'm being hard on other guys. I get it. Exactly, Dom. Green don't need to even score, and you notice his presence. He's like the vet version of Ron and what do we all, boss? What do I always say? He is a what? I say Javonte Green. What do I say? I say he is a slightly shorter, stronger, more experienced Ron Holland.
Yep. He's the perfect bet, which is
that's what he is.
He's the perfect bet for Ron Holland's development. Like,
yes,
we want to keep Ron Holland on this team. We want to keep Javonte Green,
right?
Not only because of their individual outputs and what they do for us, but because of what they can do together and just Ron's future career.
Yeah, 100%. Man. I love Javonte Green. Okay. It's the things that you can bring every night. The things you can be consistent with. He does them.
Yep.
That's literally it. The things that he, a lot of guys around the league, they focus on things that they can't consistently do just from a numbers standpoint. I don't care how many times you shoot. Steph Curry has bad shooting games. You know what I'm saying? Like some things you're just not going to be able to do every single night. But certain things you are. And all those certain things that you can, Javonte Green does them. Ron Holland does them. Isaiah Stewart does them. Cade Cunningham does what I'm saying? Like they all do those things that are consistent. So that's why I really love his game because he finds a way to help you by being consistent in the ways that he can. And then when his shot's falling, watch out,
Yeah, he hasn't had a bad game with us yet. I think I can recall one in the early season where we were still fighting the flow as a team and somehow still winning games where he went out there. I was like, okay, I think he just had low minutes is what it was.
Right.
And it's on his group. You said the word consistent. He is our most consistent player. We said Cade does Cade things, like you said. Ausar did Ausar things, Stu did Stu things, and Javonte did Javonte things. They all have their game and they stick to it. And it's just, I just feel like Javonte, and we noticed it. I noticed it on TV today, but we noticed it when we were there in person too. He's always up on the bench. He's eager to go. He's ready to go. He's just like the glue guy. Bees was such a positive guy for our locker room last year, and it seems like that's what Javonte is as well for us.
Yeah.
Just helping in so many roles that we were missing coming into this year. And he's just really filled those and added things that we were missing. So
100%, man. Let's get to some Javonte Green comments and show him some love. Outtro says he's been a plus off the bench, always super impactful. Yeah, you made a great point. That I kind of want to build on. You said he hasn't had a bad game all year.
No.
He's had bad shooting games all year.
Right. Yeah.
But he hasn't had bad games all year. And that's the difference. Some guys in the league, if they're not shooting it well, they're having a bad game.
Yeah.
But other guys like him, like we mentioned, he can go over and still get the belt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I love his game. McLemore says he's a straight dog, 100%. Organic says he is like a Tony Allen light type player in a good way. I don't even know if you even say light because the way he impacts games, man, I think that's a very good comp. Tony Allen for the Grizzlies, for the Celtics, I could not stand. It wasn't a lot of guys in the league who would make things tough for Chauncey.
Yeah.
Tony Allen was one of those annoying guys who would make it tough for Chauncey at times, just because he was a smart defender. He had a very high defensive IQ, and he was strong, and he was long, and he wasn't afraid to give his body up. That's a great comp.
Yeah.
A guy who just knows how to play the game. it's not a coincidence that he was on a championship team with the Celtics when they won that year in 2008. He was part of that team. So certain guys just know how to play the game. And Javonte Green, Tony Allen, great comp. Those are guys that you want to have on your team. Yeah. Douglas says Tony Allen was tough. Exactly. You beat me to it, bro. 100%. Same page. Devon says Green, the type that wins you rings, and have your coach saying, Bruce, he'll be back. Right. Exactly, bro. 100%, man. 100%. So, yeah, I love it. One more. Organic says Kobe said Tony Allen was his toughest defender. There you go. So maybe Javonte is like, I see what you said. I see where you're going. But, yeah, very good comp. Go ahead, boss.
I was just thinking about how you've talked about how we need two-way players on this team. And so when we have Javonte mostly producing on defense, but the thing is Javonte is reliable on offense. We usually can't. He just doesn't look for a shot. Like if the shot comes to him, he'll take it. And it can really pay off. Like he's gotten on heaters, he's gotten hot. But like so it is like kind of a two-way, but like you said, like our whole identity is defense. So if you just go out there to play defense, kind of with the SAR too, like we want your defensive output to affect your offensive output. Yep. But if your offensive output isn't there necessarily, like Javonte's wasn't today, his defense still was. And it's just, again, it just shows how impactful that is compared to, you know, if he was doing great on offense and not so great on defense, because basically for us, and like you talked about, to be great on offense for us, you also need to be great on defense, because that's our defense is creating our offense. But I just wanted to talk about that because we talked about two-way players, and Javonte is one. He's just not necessarily a play creator for himself. But he's not going to throw up, 7 shots and miss them all. Like he's going to test the water and see how he feels. So
yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. Like he just plays within the flow.
Yes.
And he makes heady plays. He seems to make a play whenever you need it.
Yep.
No, he's like Stu. He's one of those guys who doesn't hurt you on a basketball court. He's not turning the ball over, taking bad shots. Like he's not doing those things. So yeah, having a guy like him is important if you're trying to win a championship.
Yep.
Having multiple guys like that. And somebody said it again. Rose says having a team with Ausar, Ron, and Green is a nightmare. We just talked about that earlier, boss, with LaMelo Ball. He struggled mightily because of not just Javonte, but Javonte and Ron and Ausar. That's tough.
Someone brought it up earlier in the chat about the Bulls, like when Javonte was on them, how like they had Alex Caruso, and then Caruso would go out and Javonte Green would come in. Like that was what they built off of.
Exactly.
And that's kind of, again, with OKC as well. They have Cason Wallace coming off the bench, and he has the best defensive rating. And, like, it's just when you just get tired. There's just no break. There's that famous meme of, like, LeBron seeing someone come in. Who checked in?
Kawhi.
Yeah, he looked and he just rolled his eyes. He's like,
Yep. That's a great way to put it.
Guys play, So when we have that, what I appreciate about our bench the most is their defense. And that's why I think when things like LeVert isn't contributing on offense and stuff like that, it can get frustrating. But our bench is mostly defense.
For sure.
So
for sure. And I think that's honestly why when they come into the game, we go on runs, because they play to our identity, which is getting stops because of the defense and getting out in transition.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%, guys. All right, guys, let's move on now to Jaden Ivey. Guys, tonight, Jaden Ivey in 13 minutes had 5 points on 2 for 6 overall. 0 for 3. He was cold from out there tonight. 1-1 from the free throw line. 1 board, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal. 13 minutes, boss. What's up?
Yeah.
What's up?
It's not a great game for JI in terms of he had that nice and one that I was hoping would just get him going. He had a good steal. I think he had good defense at times, but he had I want to say that maybe his minutes were cut short because in that short amount of time he had a turnover and 3 personal fouls. Like maybe that's why they were just like, it's not you're not feeling it tonight. It's not hot, but and they just chose to go with other guys. But I would like to see him for at least 10 minutes more. I think he just, again, like you said, consistency. Like, I think that will help him in the game as well. Mm-hmm. I feel like we would have seen him more if we would have kept the lead in the third. But yeah, not Ivy's best night. He did some Ivy things, but not.
See, I don't feel like he played bad. I don't feel like he played bad. I think it's like to a lesser extent of what we were talking about Javonte Green, how he has had bad shooting games, but not bad games. I think tonight was like J.I. to a lesser extent, right? I don't think he played a bad. If he hits 1 or 2 of those threes, I think we're saying he had a really good game.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
I think he would have been in more. And that's just where coach is trying to figure it out too. And like, yeah, Javonte had 4 more minutes than him, or not Javonte, Caris had 4 more minutes than him, and kind of equal stat lines when you kind of all put it all together.
Yeah. He did a lot of good things though, man. Like I'm seeing some of the comments here too. McLemore says he was a beast on yes, he was. He was closing out hard, but not too hard.
He was good on defense. He was. Nice
passes and that was nice. Like Cade is trying to force feed him the ball a little bit. You can see J.I. is really trying to be unselfish. Cade's like, no. On the perimeter, J.I. had the ball. He passed it to Cade. Cade give it right back to, hey, take this. And as soon as he caught it, he was able to get downhill because the defense has shifted to Cade. Cade gave it right back to him, and J.I. caught it and immediately went. Had a lane and immediately went. Got to the lane. Nice drop-off pass for J.D. It was a beautiful pass. J.D. had a dunk. So, like, he is slowly coming over. He didn't shoot it well, but I'm like, he's got to play more, man. Like, for me, 13 minutes is not going to allow him to get into a rhythm.
Yeah.
It's just not. And maybe they have a plan for him, but it's puzzling for me, boss, to see his minutes going this way.
Same.
When you're on a restriction, they should be going this way. Yeah. That's what's confusing for me. Go ahead.
Yeah, same. And that's like, I was like, I'm curious what's going on in their head. Did they think that this was just going to be an easy thing to, like, I guess, rest up more before this tough matchup? You know, this tough coming up. But
yeah,
I don't know. I don't understand either. And I agree with you. I don't necessarily think he played bad. It wasn't his best use of his minutes. But I think, again, defensively is where I noticed him more.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought we would have seen more of him in the game, too. I don't know.
To be real, boss, I noticed more attention is on him and less is on Cade as opposed to Caris being in the game. Right? I noticed Cade has less attention when Jaden's in the game as opposed to when Caris is in the game. So once again, I just wonder if they're just waiting for Jaden to get comfortable because he's still not 100%. He's like, I'd say he's like 75%. Like the burst is coming back. It's not all the way there yet. Go ahead.
There could be communication going on that we're not aware of. Like he could also just be like, I don't feel it. You know, I don't know. Who knows? But it just, again, this is something I would like to just be able to ask coaches without them getting offended. Just be like, hey, why?
Right. I know.
Like, I'm not trying to offend you, but just why? Like, what's the reason behind it? And they probably would just say figuring out lineups still.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. And again, we don't know their game plans coming in. We don't know if it's just the plan all along for this game. Like, I just don't know.
That's why it's hard because we really don't. So I don't want to speak out of term because they may have a plan and we just don't know about it. Right. So I don't want to be complaining. I'm just going off what I see. It's like, I'm just a little confused. Kevin says, it's clear to me when they're on the court together that Cade is looking to get J.I. involved. He knows in order for the Pistons to be their best, they will need the best version of yes. Yeah, I always say it. I hate 10 eyes on Cade. And I'm not seeing 8 and 6 as opposed to 10 when Caris is out there. I'm still seeing 10.
Yeah.
I'm still seeing 10. I'm not really seeing them respect him the way they are with J.I., who's just getting back. So it's like his ceiling is up here. They know what he can do.
Yeah.
They know how twitchy he is. They know how well he can play off the dribble. So they're trying to keep it honest.
Yeah.
When he's on the court, which is I'm like, why aren't you playing him more then? At least more than 13 minutes. Because you see it. You see the sparks. Like when he's playing well, it's hard to stop him.
Yeah.
So
and I want to address this comment. The fact that Ivy gets slandered when he's returning from a broken leg while Ausar got a grace is trifling. For me, it's not slandering. I just think for me, it's just more like we're just literally questioning why. Because we agree.
Yeah.
Why isn't he out there more after we did kind of see an uptick in his minutes and his production, and now it's just kind of gone down. So I think it's slandering. I think it's just more, or maybe people, you know,
you're not.
Maybe you're talking
Some
about
are.
Twitter.
You're not.
Maybe you're talking about Twitter where I don't go to protect my own mental health. But I just think so I can see that, but I think for me in this moment it's just more about just questioning why. And because I do want him back. We were predicting, you know, a return to the starting lineup by the end of December.
Mm-hmm.
See if that happens still. I think, you know, the new year might just be a gauge as a timeline for multiple things on the team. But yeah, I just am curious of why he didn't get a little more playing time tonight. And again, we won by 26, so there's not really much to say about it. I'm excited for more Cade and Ivy, because even we are getting Ivy, it's very rarely Cade and Ivy.
Yeah, you don't really see it too often, at least not yet. So I ain't gonna lie. Like, I wanted Duncan to be okay. Get that out the way. I was disappointed when I saw he was starting again today because I wanted to see Jaden more. I wanted to see more Jaden. Like, I'm like, come on, man. Just sit out for a game. Let us see how it looks, bro.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But we didn't see it, but it's okay. Dominic says, I don't know if he'll be available since we won't be in the lottery this year, but my guy, Yaxo Lindenborg from Michigan will look great. Hey, Michigan is hooping, man.
Are they still undefeated?
I believe so.
I think that is Nebraska still undefeated because I think
so.
Ago there was only those two.
I think it's just so too. Yeah, King put me on the Michigan this year. Like he was like, bro, watch them this year, and he was right. They've been balling out of their minds. If we could get a guy like him, bro, I would be over the moon. Yeah. Over the moon, man. Even if we just take it slow with him, but he's really, really good. That whole team is good. But yeah, shout out to you, Don, for bringing him up because Michigan is balling this year. All right, guys, let's get a few more Jaden comments and we'll keep it moving. Let's see. Ivy, he's a zone breaker too. We saw them deploying the zone. Like he is the perfect player for that. Mm-hmm. So Clifton says, I don't know if I don't know if he is or not. That's the thing. We don't know. All we know is what we see in the court.
Yep.
So it's impossible to kind of speculate and project why. It's just kind of puzzling for us when we know he's supposed to be ramping up and getting back into form.
We need Eric Vincent to ask the more pressing questions.
And we know he will. So guys, if you like, we will bring him back on soon. And because last time he asked a question.
Insight. Maybe he has some insight. You know?
Yeah, I might have to shoot him a text and see if we can get him back on again soon for sure. Okay. A few more guys and we're done. Mecklemore says, J.I. still get those paint touches, which is key to our success. Yes. Nobody can stop him when he gets the ball off the catch. Right? So that's what I love to see. Of course not. Of course not. We're just keeping the stack. And they mean 100%.
Oh yeah, They just validated that it was more broad.
Gotcha.
Than this.
Gotcha. Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. We will leave it there. We don't want to go too deep on that, but yeah, definitely want to see more Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham. Guys, we still have not seen one starting lineup since Tobias Harris has been here. We have not seen one game where we saw Cade, Jaden, Ausar, Tobias, and JD. Still. Yeah. We still have not seen one game with that starting group, which is another reason, boss, why I'm like, why isn't Jaden starting, bro? It's been a year and a half. Go ahead.
You speculated that maybe once Jaden's back, and again, with these minutes, it makes me think that he's not coming back soon, which is what's confusing. But
right.
Back in, then because you were talking about them, maybe that's when Stu comes in at the 4 too. Like maybe they're just waiting for it all to be consistent. Because we talk about that, but I think we were kind of waiting for this to happen already because it's the end of December. Like this is conversations we had at Thanksgiving, you know?
Yeah, you're right.
I'm curious. And I think, and we'll get to it, but I think that this road trip is going to be a huge test to this team. Mm-hmm. Just road trips are hard in general. Some of the teams we're going against aren't the greatest. Someone said the Lakers were getting demolished. I'm curious if they still are. Because I watched them recently, and that's just a team with no defense. So as long as we play our defense, I think we have a good shot at that. Yep. The names on the Lakers just get kind of scary. You know, LeBron James, Luka Doncic is never going to be easy.
That's the thing. I want to see those three same guys that we saw tonight on LaMelo. I want to see how they fare against a guy like Luka and LeBron. I want to see how that looks. That should be interesting. I want to see how the whistle looks in that game. That should also be interesting.
I can totally see Ron just being like, please let me have Luka. You know?
Of course. I just don't want him to get too, because I don't want to see him get too deep into the one-on-one battle. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be hard, but I'm just curious. Oh, Luka got hurt.
Oh wow, he got hurt. Sheesh.
Also, guys,
I didn't know that.
I'll just say this real quick because I guess that when I last checked in the fourth quarter, the Packers are up by 13, and I guess Williams just threw a ball, and
I heard the Packers lost.
Yeah, the Bears won. Based off on the last minute touch. I just wanted to tell.
That's what we needed, low key. Isn't it?
Either one. We need them to lose. So I'm happy because I hate the Packers, but
I don't like either one of them. I ain't gonna lie to you, but that's a whole another story.
True. But anyways, I just wanted to update you guys there. But I'm just curious, and we'll get to the road trip. Sorry, I just said it, but I just think that's going to be a major. I don't know. This is when we need consistency the most, is for road trips like this. Mm-hmm. So I hope that they figure out what we need in terms of who's in the starting lineup and who's not.
Yeah. So this will be. I think we'll learn a lot from this road trip as far as how we're looking, who gets minutes, just the consistency piece we're looking for. I think all those things are going to be important to watch on this road trip, and we'll learn about our team too. It's a young team, going on a 5-game road trip. So I want to see how they navigate that as well. Not going from city to city every night, sometimes getting in late from one city to another after a game is over, not getting much sleep throughout the day. Like those things are a real thing. Those things are so I want to see how they deal with it and how they navigate that. And hopefully we can come up with more wins. Go ahead.
We'll talk about it, I guess, more so. But who do we have first in the Kings?
Well, let's go ahead and get to that. I'm glad you said that.
Lakers
because,
is last.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because we actually have it right here for you guys. So here is the schedule.
Oh, Blazers.
So we get the Blazers first on Monday. And then we have the Kings and we have the Jazz, Clippers, and then the Lakers. Boss, how many of these games do you think we will win of these 5?
Your guys' West Coast times. The 10 p.m. game.
Oh, my Lord, man.
For you, because that's 8 p.m. for me. I'm just like,
that's right at home for you. Whatever. I'm hating. Go ahead.
How many do I think? I think we could take all 5. I really do. The Blazers are the scariest one on this list for me, just based on how they've been playing, but they've been on kind of a downward trajectory. The Kings I'm not worried about at all. The Jazz can pop off. I don't know. The Clippers I'm not worried about. The Lakers I'm most worried about in terms of if they have, like, if Luka and Austin Reeves are both on a heater, it's just going to be hard because they can both put up 40 in a game like it's nothing, and we're just not offensively matched like them more so. But I confidently say these guys. Otherwise, I think it might be the Blazers or the Jazz. Would it be who we might fall to just based on kind of like the whole trap game idea and how we against the Jazz in the past. But that's really it.
I'm gonna say we go 3-2 on this trip.
Okay.
Because road trips are hard.
Do you agree with my 2, or do you have a different?
Who were your 2 again?
Trailblazers and Jazz.
As far as games we'll win or lose?
Lose.
I don't think we'll lose to the Jazz. I think I can see us losing to the Lakers. I have Blazers and Lakers. That's what I'll say.
Okay.
Because the Blazers played us tough. The first game we played them back on the 5th of this month. Yeah. We won by 6, 122 to 116. So that was a tough game, right? Yeah. They play hard, and that was at home. We weren't who we are now, but that was still a tough game. And on the road, it's going to be tough. So. And we have a back-to-back between Monday and Tuesday as well. So I'll say 3-2.
And that's why I think the Jazz is not necessarily because they're the better team from us, but I think it's just game 3 of the road trip. And they can get hot. Have we played them already this season? Am I losing my mind?
The Jazz?
I thought we did.
I don't think that was a close game, was it? Chat, let us know.
I'm looking real quick.
You looking? Yeah, I can't remember. Maybe. I don't think.
Oh, no. Yeah, we did play them, and we ended up winning by 11. But I think it was Keontae George that was going.
Oh, yeah, he had a good game. But I felt like we won that pretty comfortably, though.
Oh, yeah. Mike Mikhailiuk or whatever.
Sandro. Oh, Speed. He used to play here. Yeah, he went crazy. Yeah.
So it was just like stuff like that. And I think that it was the same kind of game of like, we would take a lead and then they get close, and then we take a lead and they get close, like that kind of stuff. So that's just where I think that's coming from, because it wasn't necessarily. Yeah, I remember that game. It wasn't easy. What are we doing? Because Markkinen had 25, and like their good players were popping off. So it's almost like, oh, why are we losing?
That was one of those games when I was going off on Duncan because of the effort. Because I'm like, you can't let Speed you can't let Speed Mikhailiuk go for 30.
November. So So that's why I picked those, and I see why you picked the Lakers too, even though I know you're a Lakers fan.
I just think they're. I mean, they're like 19-7 in the West.
But I watched them, and I watched them the other day when they played. I think they still won the game. Oh, it's against the Suns when Brooks in them. Just watching them play, if our defense is on point, they're not beating us. Like they play. I should say this: if our offense is hot too, because they play no defense. They're a terrible defensive team.
They are.
If we're playing defense and we're popping off on offense, we're not struggling, we're hitting our shots, we're good.
I can just see the whistle, unfortunately, being a factor. I hate to say it.
True.
A physical style of play against the Lakers doesn't usually bode well now in these days. It used to back in the day, right? When we were winning championships, but it's a different game now. You got 2 star players in Luka and LeBron. If Luka's healthy, I see them getting a more favorable whistle than we do.
Yeah,
I agree. I'm not saying we're going to lose because I think we can beat any of these teams. I think we could win all 5. I can see that being one of the ones that just doesn't go our way.
So
you know,
kind of like me with the Jazz of like, but
Right.
you're more like whistle, thinking about just the atmosphere, stuff like that. It's not an
Yeah.
easy play. Yeah, the Clippers are up by are beating them by 20 right now.
beating who by 20?
The Lakers.
Sheesh.
And there's 2.5
Wow.
minutes left in the third. So the Lakers
Wow.
have only scored 56 points.
Wow.
It's almost the end of the third.
But Luka got hurt, right? Isn't that what somebody said? He got hurt?
Well, that just tells me, look, if one of our guys, if Cade got hurt, we just put in Jenkins and he'd go crazy, you know? Like, it's just like,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I
but I
mean,
agree. Yeah, well, Don just has 12 points. So I don't know.
okay. We'll see. I think if we go 3-2, that's still a good trip.
I agree.
I think that's still a good trip,
I agree.
right? If you can go at least 500, if you're going better 500 on any road trip, that's a win.
And it's our first West road trip. We'll have
Yep.
another one.
Yep.
It's our first West road trip over the holidays too, which is tough. It's just going to be, it's going to be more of a mental game, but I think we can do it, especially if, you know, we utilize some other guys like Jenkins and Reed.
Right. That's a great point. I think on this road trip, we should see us kind of going into our bag a little bit as far as with our bench and getting more guys minutes.
Right.
So we can stay fresh. Right.
I think they will.
That's important.
That would be for a West road trip in a different time zone for 5 games worth over the holidays. That's almost like a game plan, is to make sure that you rest, that everyone has enough rest, so then that gives opportunity for everyone else to play as well.
Yeah.
Because you don't want, the last thing I want is Cade Bird. Like, it's almost like a blessing that we don't play the Lakers till last, because I think we can do well against the Kings and the Trailblazers. I think we do well against these guys. Like, starting with the Lakers might be hard, but then it's also occurs in the point of like, oh, well, that's also like, how tired are we going to be?
It's the last game. Yeah. Ready to get back home. That's why I want to see how these guys, how they respond. If they're able to close it out strong, right? Or if they kind of have we'll see. And it's okay if it happens. This is a young team. It's part of growing pains. Guy, I think a lot of people don't really understand what growing pains look like for a team that's mostly young. That we haven't really built through the draft in I don't know how long, guys.
Yeah.
We've usually just kind of piecemealed it together with vets who are at the back end of their career and things like it's been a long time since we have built our entire team for the most part with a few vets here and there through the draft.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't understand what the growing pains look like, how long they should last, what's overreactable, if that's a word, or what's not. Like, this is what it looks like with a young team. You know what I'm saying? This is what it looks like. Clifton, not since Isaiah, right? Not since the days of Isaiah and Joe D. We brought Lambeer over in the trade. He had Dennis Rodman and John Sally in the draft, the same draft. Like, that's the last time we really built this team through the draft.
Yeah.
So a lot of people weren't around back then. I don't remember it, but this is what it looks like. So, you know.
Stu is a prime example of that. He's a guy that we would hopefully keep on for as long as possible. It's just a culture guy too. But he'll be 26 next year, like that. And then everyone else that we brought in is younger. Like, right. And then we bring in these vet shooters. That's mostly what we've been doing, you know.
Right. Right.
Who's to say that Chaz Lanier doesn't become our next best 3-point shooter after time in the cruise?
Malik Beasley light?
Yeah.
Malik
and
Beasley?
again, with the rebuild too, it's also just figuring out the lineups in terms of what we had to do with early injuries, stuff like that. And then seeing these guys, these talented guys, like, because of the early injuries is how we got to see Paul Reed early and Dennis Jenkins. That's why we're almost like, bring them in, because we wouldn't be saying this stuff about them if we didn't get to see that from them. It's just hard. It's just hard all around. It's going to be, it's fun, but it's tough.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm with you, Clifton. We're not going to go too much longer, but I'm with you, Clifton. I think Trajan Langdon is the perfect president GM for this team. I could not be happier with what he has done. However, this is what I want to see. I want to see the Troy Weaver starting lineup through the draft with Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart, Ausar Thompson, Jaden Ivey, Cade Cunningham. That to me is the best starting group for who we want to be. Right. So yeah, but I definitely agree with you guys' points. We'll leave it there, guys. I have one more thing I want to get to, and we will call it a night. And what that thing is, guys, is love for Mr. Rasheed Wallace.
Oh, yes.
Roscoe. Man, I want to give him a shout out. Look at his face. It's hilarious, right? So, guys, yesterday.
Brought back Rivers. I want to bring Sheed back for a season.
Man, for JD, for that defense you talking about? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Let's go. But
no, just for the text, just for the momentum.
Just for the tease?
Yeah.
Okay. We got enough guys here for that. I think we're good on that. I think we got between, not Ron, but between Stu and all, I think we're good on that. But on a serious note, he was inducted into the 2025 Michigan Sports Hall of Fame for this year, which was very well deserved for him. This guy put us over the top in 2004 to help us deliver our third championship. He was responsible in part for us going back the following year and going to the Eastern Conference Finals 3 years after that. So huge part of this team, man, guys. And along with that, about a week ago, we had the pleasure of having Tim Hardaway Jr. and Lindsey Hunter, or Tim Hardaway Sr. and Lindsey Hunter on the show, who Lindsey Hunter also played a big role in that championship, guys, if you remember. He was on the show to reflect on Rasheed Wallace and just him as a person, him as a teammate, and just the impact that he had on that team. So let's go ahead and play a piece of that for you guys who may have missed it, and we will go from there.
Deuce, I'm gonna tell you this: when we got Rasheed,
Man,
and we saw how much of a team guy he was, because I'm gonna tell you, Rasheed Wallace was one of the most talented power forwards I've ever seen in the NBA, bro. Because I watched him in practice destroy people. I was like, yo, this dude is probably like Tim Duncan level.
Better than Anthony Davis?
Yes. Talent-wise, yes. But he didn't care about his stats like that. He just wanted to win.
That's rare to find.
guys like KG, C-Web, Dirt, they all say the guy that gave him problems during that time was Sheed.
Me and she were like this. We sat next to each other on the bus, on the plane, everywhere. She was in the game say, hey, yo, Lynn, left hand hook across the lane. This is in the conference finals against Indiana.
I'm screaming.
That's tough.
And Larry Brown is pissed. He's fucking out here playing around. We're trying to get to the championship. Drove Larry crazy, bro.
He did that on purpose. Because he was like, look at Larry. Look at Larry. He's about to lose his head.
When we were playing in the finals, he got in a little skirmish with one of the players on the Lakers.
Slava Medvedenko. He put an elbow in his back.
Anytime she got mad, all plays were off. We're running drop four. Bro, every shot was different. Up and under, middle hook, and 1-3 ball, lob.
When he really wanted to play, you could not stick.
Can't stop him, bro. He run by Phil Jackson and said, get this white boy off me. And don't put Karl Malone old ass back out here. He can't guard me.
Karl Malone catching strays for no reason at all.
Oh,
Man, rest in peace, Slava Medvedenko, bro. Rest up, man. Not literally, but yeah, get well. Get well soon for sure, bro.
good.
Oh, that was such a fun conversation, man. Yeah, that was cool, guys. It's, you know what's funny? I talked to Cannon about what he said about Larry Brown. I asked him, I was like, hey, was that the case? Because, you know, Cannon played for him at SMU when Larry Brown was coach at SMU.
Yeah, everybody.
Right. Cade Cunningham's older brother, Cannon Cunningham, was a monster as well. He could have went to the NBA as well, but he wanted to go the coach route, and that's what he did now. So he's doing now. But I asked him, I was like, is that how Larry Brown was? Like, he would get on y'all if y'all was kind of playing around. He's like, yeah, he was. He said, but if we got to win, he'd be a little bit more lighthearted and won't get on us too much. So that checks out. Lindsey Hunter, you know, that was definitely a cool moment that he shared with us, guys. We're going to try to have them on more, work with them more in the future. And we're going to try to have Boss back on with us so we can do that because we know she knows her history as well. So that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I also wanted to mention, I know we gave Rasheed his flowers, but Blake Griffin was nominated as well for the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
But the bigger Piston nominated, in my opinion, was Bill Laimbeer.
Yeah, that's right.
Here.
That's right.
He deserved
100%.
it. I cannot believe he's not already in the Hall of Fame.
Reputation.
Yeah.
That's literally it. That's literally it. Like, this dude was a multi-time All-Star. Huge part of that back-to-back run. And once again, he was like in a lot of ways, he was like the Isaiah Stewart as far as just that culture setter for how we want to play the game. Him, Mahorn, yes.
The Pistons had the culture today.
Exactly.
They fed off of that. Like Isaiah Thomas is thrown in that conversation. Like all of them. The bad boys are the bad boys. Laimbeer and Mahorn's attitude in the game.
Yeah. And you saw, like, once I talked about it last show, guys, but once Rick Mahorn once we lost him to the expansion draft.
Oh, and everyone was so sad about it.
Yeah, but you saw on the court, you saw teams get more brave, trying to push Bill Laimbeer, get back in his face, because Mahorn wasn't there. His partner wasn't there. Yeah. So that's a big part of it. Like, you lose some of your culture when you lose guys like that. And Bill Laimbeer was definitely one of those guys. One of the first stretch fives ever. I never forget in that game 7 against the Lakers when we lost in 88. He hit a huge three when we were down 4. Huge three to put us down 1 point at the end of the game in game 7. And we just couldn't get a stop after that. But he was a dog, man. Bill Laimbeer was so good. He wasn't the most athletic guy.
No.
He was just very skilled and very smart and tough.
Yeah.
Tough,
if you guys
man.
are ever bored, just search Bill Laimbeer versus Larry Bird.
Ooh-wee.
Whole montage.
Woo. Yeah, man, they used to go at it.
What was the question they got a few years ago about how they would play and how their play would be in the league today? And Laimbeer said we'd be arrested.
Yeah.
Prison.
They wouldn't have enough. They had to forfeit games. They wouldn't have enough bodies to play because everybody be suspended.
Literal assault. And what's funny that you could fight and then just be like, guys, just walk it off. You're fine. But and shot coach, who I'm hoping.
Yeah. I think he won 3 chips with the shot.
When the expansion comes back with Jaden Ivey's mom too, Niall.
Yeah, Niall, shout out.
So just phenomenal. And I hope that this is the year that he gets it because it's just deserved. And he's kind of like, and if you're not a Pistons fan and you look at Isaiah Stewart, you might say all he does is fight. That's how some people might say about Bill Laimbeer too. He was just a fighter, just stuff. But if you, as Pistons fans, we know what he brought and what he did. Mm-hmm. And this is very much deserved for him. And like you said, comparing him to Stu is huge because in outside of the Detroit, he has a certain reputation, and inside Detroit, he has that same reputation with more, better, the why.
Oh man, yeah. Bill Laimbeer was a monster, guys. You know what's crazy? A lot of guys don't know this, but Bill Laimbeer is the all-time leader in rebounds for the Pistons. As we know, Ben Wallace, we know what he was. We know what Dennis Rodman was. Bill Laimbeer is the league or the franchise leader in rebounds, not being able to slide a phone book under him when he jumped off the ground. Like, that just shows you who he was. So that's incredible. That's a great point there by Heisenberg for sure, man. So yeah, definitely shout out to Bill Laimbeer. He definitely deserves to be there. They used to say, I got 6 fouls and they're all for you. That's exactly what they used to say, D. Hey, D knows her history too. I think D told me a story where she actually met Lindsey Hunter, his wife, one time. So yeah, D knows her stuff for sure. But Bill Laimbeer, man, yeah, he was that guy. So he deserves to be there. That's a great point, boss. I definitely agree with you there. Last super chat, guys. We'll call it tonight. We already way over. Dom says, I have no hate for Blake Griffin, but thank God the 2019 Blake year ain't all the younger fans have to hold on to anymore. Real team ball. Yeah, bro. I agree. Yeah, man. And Blake did all he could.
Yeah.
He did all he could, man. It was just not enough. We didn't have a team built around him or around we didn't have a actual complete team. Yeah. We didn't have direction either.
Yeah. And him and Drummond, again, like I remember when Drummond, we got him, I was excited, all this stuff. Those years were just kind of, they felt uncharacteristic for us as a team. So I agree. Like the kind of ball that we're playing now is what Detroit's used to. Yeah. Not having to rely on one person like a Blake Griffin to be our star. Like, yeah, we have Cade as a star, but we have all these guys helping out too. And just like team ball, just like in 2004, I can't pick which one contributed the most on that team.
Exactly. And that's what made him dangerous.
Detroit. So.
100%. Last few comments. James Edwards was just, he wasn't a stretch 5 though. He was mid-range post player, but he wasn't shooting threes like that. Yeah. Terry Mills, I thought Terry Mills was more of a 4. Maybe he played some 5. I thought he was more of a 4, but he was a sniper too. He was a sniper for sure. All right, guys, we'll leave it there, man. Yeah, Blake did not deserve that. He didn't deserve that booing. Yeah, he gave it everything he had. His leg was all wrapped up and had an brace, and he did everything he could. It wasn't his fault. We just didn't have a team around him. All right, guys, we'll leave it there, man. Great show, guys. It's been a lot of fun between us talking about the Pistons, old school days, to Rasheed Wallace, to me and Boss jumping down each other's throat. It was a great show all around. Nothing we don't usually do here, right? Y'all know how we get down the Downtown Deuce and Boss show. So appreciate you guys. We're going to call it a night. That'll wrap for the show. You got anything else, Boss?
When's the next game? Monday?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that's the next game.
What day? It's Saturday today. They got a travel day. All right.
Yep.
All right, guys. Here we go.
And then the road trip starts, and we will see how it goes. And here we go. All right, guys. We appreciate you guys for showing up and showing out as you guys always do. Everybody have a great night. Be safe. Get some rest. And enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy football tomorrow. Go Lions. And y'all know the drill, man. Detroit versus everybody. Peace.
All the dirty work, all dog. I'ma dive on the floor, go try to block every shot. And I'ma be physical with you the whole game. You know Stu gonna be physical with you. When you think of the Pistons, you think it's just hard work and just gritty basketball. That's just the identity you gotta have when you put on that jersey.
I'm not your average breed of K9. Not a good dog, I'm bad boy for life. I set the tone, don't care about no tick. Let it be known, I get my respect. I'm in the lane and see I don't bluff. If you retaliate, that's on ya. Talking pundits, I hear you're ashamed. Talking that shop, you must want this way. Tryna tell ya, if the dog palm mess around, find out, yeah. Tryna tell ya, if the dog palm mess around, find out, for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better cough a hill, cause I'm like that. When you're ready for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better cough a hill, cause I'm like that. The dog palm mess around.